Okay, we're live, and I didn't realize it for a whole minute. Sorry about that, guys.
Nice
Are
dubstep.
you? I can't hear you, Matt. Okay, so something's wrong on my side. I have my sound on, but I can't hear you. So,
Maybe I should say something. Oh, yeah. Why has this been? This is off. Hello. Testing.
I just
Five,
found myself.
4, 3, 2, 1. Are we on?
Yes, I got lost. I'm sorry. I got
No
lost.
problem.
But now I'm found.
Now you're found.
Now I'm found.
Amazing grace.
Yes, exactly. Hello, community.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Linda James.
Hi, Matt. It's good to
Good
see you.
to be with you and everyone.
I'm I'm so glad you're here.
Ah, I'm glad to be here too.
It's been a week, hasn't it? It's been a week.
Ooh, gee, understatement. Yeah, what a
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
I certainly had to take more pills than usual. That's my confession, folks. Yeah.
Which just actually, I just, as you said this, had me look at my medicine because I have it set up in such a way that I have it set up to take my meds 3 times a day. And I just noticed that I had not taken my second bout of medicine yet, which is
Ooh,
probably why my neurons were not connecting.
let's have
Oh,
some neuron juice. You know, Mama said there'd be days like this.
yep, yep, yep.
Okay. Well, good catch, Linda James. At least you caught it in time, you know.
Thank you.
Folks, what have we learned today on Linda James's channel? We've learned
I'd love to hear it. Do tell. What have we learned?
Okay. Well, I tell you what, while you are taking your medications, maybe I could say hi to some of the folks in the live chat with your permission.
Oh, always, yes. Please do.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much while you do that. So we have Dallas. Hello, Dallas. How you doing, Dallas? Always good to be with you. Thanks very much for the joy and happiness that you bring to the various channels, Dallas. John, hello. Good to be with you as well. And we have Mama Susu in the house. Mama Susu, how do you do, Mama Susu? It is good to be with you as well. And thank you very much for the support that you bring to the various channels and actually the good vibe that you bring. In fact, that's for everybody. Thank you very much for the good vibe that you bring to the, I call it the healing community, because it is in the healing community that we are able to say that this really does matter. Healing community or community just in itself matters because, you know, sometimes professional help can be difficult to access quickly. And we want to notice someone. We want to notice someone listening without judgment and helping them connect with crisis or professional support. It can be a very important bridge. Sometimes there are persons in critical mental health situations. So we've been thinking about that. I was talking with Linda James about that. And we had Gail, for those who are familiar, who's been working in mental health for a good portion in her life, was talking about warning signs which can help us to notice when somebody might be struggling. But those warning signs aren't a crystal ball. We shouldn't assume that we can predict a mental health situation or crisis from a checklist. But the important thing is what we do when we notice someone who isn't coping. We can listen, we can be present, we can ask directly, we can take them seriously, and we can connect them with appropriate help. So, what am I saying exactly? I'm saying I'm grateful for a community like this. I gain a lot of strength, I gain a lot of support. And Linda James, if you don't mind me quoting you, you say that this is something that you look forward to in the week, right? I've heard that said frequently. Linda James looks forward to this. Linda James, we didn't start off the show with your usual mantra, but I normally come to this show for a wash. What kind of wash? Brainwash, you know, because Linda James is our favorite apostate, certainly mine. And I say, well, not only is this my favorite apostate, this is my favorite apostle babe as well. Oh, Linda James, you're back with us. Okay. It was a little test to see how long you could last.
Sorry I walked away without telling you,
No
but
problem.
I realized I'm burning up hot,
Okay.
and I looked at the bandana that was sitting beside me, and I said, I got to wet that thing down and put some ice in it.
Hello, bandana. So
Um,
sometimes you need to have ice and a bandana. So
yes.
we learn all sorts of survival strategy on this channel. So thank you very much, Linda James. That's one for the bank.
You know what I've been noticing, and you even brought it up to me earlier,
Mm.
is how this community has been just over and over and over again saying, because of these losses that we're learning about, okay, that to reach out and to check in on people.
Yes.
And it's being said over and over and over again. And I that makes me so proud.
Yes.
Even if we have personality differences, you know,
That's okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And if, let's say, somebody tries to get in touch with you and you really can't take that minute to give somebody attention, suggest the next person, suggest somebody else for them to get in touch with. Or if you can take a minute away, get in touch with somebody and say, listen, get in touch with so and so. They really need somebody to talk to right now. I'm in the middle of a doctor's appointment with my,
Yep.
baby or whatever, and you're not able to, which is understandable. We can't just leave them, with nothing, is what I'm saying. Think ahead about how you would handle that if you really were in a situation where you could not be with somebody who reached out at the moment. And being that we had to have our stuff in order, and we always had to look like we had it together,
Oh
it's
yeah.
very, very tough to be like, I'm really vulnerable. A matter of fact, the other day I woke up and I was just so very, very sad.
Yes.
So I called someone and just said, it was someone who's a previous Jehovah's Witness, and I just said, you know what, I'm just so terribly sad. I didn't think I was at this really dangerous place, but I just knew, I just felt it weighing on me. And I heard her say, me too, and that's some good camaraderie, to know that we're kind of going through this together.
Mm.
And from what I understand, there's been 3 people within this previous Jehovah's Witness community that have unalived themselves. And yes, part of it is because of the organization.
Sure.
But there's also other things that could be contributing to it. And at this time in life, this is happening in a lot of areas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even before C9 was showing up, I remember seeing therapists just on their channels going, just call us, just call us. Like not talking prices, nothing, just call us.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
now realize why. Because society at large was going to be asked to go into a situation where they were going to be isolated from society at large.
Right.
Okay. And not everybody did that, but, many people did choose to take the advice of the professionals at the time to shelter in place, to have this many feet between you, and um, have only so many people that you see on a regular basis. And so there was a lot of isolation happening. And I heard that there were a lot of students, as well as adults, unaliving themselves during that time frame. And it seems to have not let up. And I don't know the percentage. I don't know statistics. I just know that during that time, like I have another friend who her two grandchildren and mine too, were doing school over the computer, right? And I can remember my daughter would drop off my grandkids here while she went to work. And I can remember hearing the teacher talking so positively. I remember that so well. She was talking so positively to the students. And I thought to myself, this gal gets it, you know? And I don't know if she always did talk. How would I know, right? But I just remember her speaking so much positive, positive, positive. You guys are amazing. You guys did this great. You know, tons of positive reinforcement to these kids, you know. But like I said, this other friend of mine, one of her grandchildren did not do well going to school online, and the other one did okay. But their personality wise, the one that did okay was more of an introvert. Okay, the one that didn't do okay with it, meaning he really hated it, I just couldn't stand it. He was more of an extrovert, like his grandmother, right?
Okay.
So, so when you are a natural extrovert and you're put into a situation where you pretty much have to be an introvert, it drains you, right?
Yeah, sure.
Drains you. And if you're an introvert and you're put in situations where you have to be very social, that drains you. The introvert, they
Yeah.
need to get back into that place of being by themselves to rejuvenate,
Right. That's it.
to fill up their gas tank, right?
Hmm.
So those things were coming up. Then people were losing their jobs, couldn't pay rent. Businesses are closing.
Yep. Cascade failure.
Yeah. But
Sure.
I also remember, and I know of people that passed, you know, during that time, and there was a lot of really sad stories. And there was a gal that dehydrated nurse, um, went by under the radar at the time.
Mm.
And I was with Rick Farron, his platform, Six Screens of the Watchtower, doing a show right about this time. And she would get on there and talk about, you know, what her life is like and how many patients she had at the time. And as time went by, you know, 30 something patients went down to 15. Okay.
Ooh.
And she worked her butt off. I used to tell her,
Yeah.
you have no high knee. You have no butt because you've worked it off, right?
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be a compliment. And
Uh-huh.
all kinds of these things, these circumstances were going on. And there's understandable reasons for us to be discouraged and to be feeling like there is no hope. But I'm telling you right now, there's more reasons for one to know that there is hope. Okay? There is hope. And when we don't have hope, it's very hard to get through times like this. And I'm not just talking about during our healing journey after we leave a high controlled, high demand group, but also in the United States, even within society at large, like what's going on within the administration of the United States. From what I understand, we're at a state of what's called late stage capitalism. And the sense of just conforming to the authority and handing them all authority is very tempting, which is what we did within the organization. I was born in, that's how I taught that's how I was taught to be, you know.
Right.
Hi, Gail. I see you in the chat. You're welcome to join us. I really appreciated what you had to share. And
Yeah.
if you would like to join us and share those things here, I think that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. And it would be you showing your gift. So Gray Wolf is here. And if anybody else is here that's not necessarily part of this community of previous Jehovah's Witnesses, I just want to share that over the last week, we, there's been 3 people that have unalived themselves. And we're all kind of in a place of mourning and shock and just devastation, you know. It's hitting us very hard, but yet I'm also really proud to hear how many people are saying, please reach out when you're in this place, or let's all check in on each other, you know. I'm really, really glad to hear that. Gigi says, hi, Matt, we are 3 for 3 today. So I just wanted to say, because Gray Wolf is here and he's not been part of the Jehovah's Witness community. And you know, he showed up with purple is orange, purple rhymes with orange, right? And purple rhymes with orange, his upbringing was very cult-like. The family he grew up in was very cult-like. So many of the techniques and tactics that are used by high control groups was used within the home he grew up in. At about the hour of the show, I'm gonna have us take some time to honor those that have crossed over, and just kind of take some time to honor them. But I'm gonna wait until right about the hour. Hi, Gigi, how are you?
Good. Can you? Oh, there I am.
There
Hi,
she
Gail.
is.
Thank you. Hi. I just want to. This is an observation on my behalf.
Sure.
If I may, I think with this particular case with Austin, it's because he made a video, and I think that's to me that really hit me hard listening to this handsome, very smart young man who looked like he had a lot going for himself, that took it
Yeah.
upon himself and made that decision to end his life. That saddens me terrible because I have a granddaughter who's 29 and
Yeah.
she has a drinking problem. I'm very concerned about her welfare. But I think what happened with Austin, and I could be wrong, but I actually listened to him 3 times, and he kept saying he loved people and he had a lot of love in him. And the saddest part about that I actually started crying after he said that, is because he wanted so much for somebody to love him, and he got very disappointed because I think what happens with the organization is what is that noise? Can you hear that?
I have fans on.
No, every time I talk, it's making a weird noise.
I'm not hearing it. Are you hearing it, Matt?
Yeah, I think I know what Gail's talking about. But these are these not your demon fans, Linda James?
Let's see if it stops when I turn off my sound.
Okay.
But it's not bad.
Okay. Well, I think it's
Is that improved, Gail?
It stopped. Yes.
Linda
Okay,
James,
I'll just
Now
leave
it's
my
doing it
fans
again.
off.
it's your demon fans from hell, Linda James. but she needs them because of California's heat, you know?
Oh yeah, it's brutal here too.
Okay.
When you take your life, you don't. I don't know if you give it any thought, but after you're gone, you affect everybody who loves you, your family members, your co-workers, even your neighbors. When you do that, and they're left with the pain and questions, why didn't we see this? Sometimes you hear people say, I didn't know. A lot of people say, I had no idea, I didn't know. But clearly, the signs are there. We just have to look for them and take someone serious. Just because someone says that I can't stand living anymore, I can't take it, I want to end it all, take them serious. Don't just dismiss it and pass it off. Take it really serious, because you just never know what goes through one's mind. And this society, what they've done, they really destroyed hope in everybody, because that's what I went there for, the hope. And I actually am blessed, because I had an outlet all my life to deal with stuff. I had to have groups, because when you're dealing with co-ed individuals that all have emotional problems, you take that energy, and you have to do something with it. So I exercise unbelievable all the time. I had to release it, because I didn't want it. I didn't want all that negative energy, because at night, horrible things would happen to people at night. So the clients would come down and they would ask if they could talk with me. So this went on. I had one right after another till, close. It was lights out at 11. And, you got to do something with that energy, because you're hearing horrific stories, because these young people are telling you the horrible stuff that they've endured. And you have to be a good listener. You can't make any comments, no passing judgment. To be you have to sit and listen and guide them. Get them to make suggestions. Don't you give them suggestions. You get them so they'll come to the conclusion on their own. What you do is you guide them along. And you throw suggestions out to them, but you don't tell them what to do. And you certainly don't downplay anything that they're telling you, because you just don't. People's minds are so fragile when they've been traumatized, and you have to think that like they're like children, and you have to be very patient and caring and kind when you're dealing with somebody who has emotional problems. That's what I learned when I was working in the field, and it took a lot out of me. And I'm glad that we had staff meetings to discuss stuff, because I've seen some horrible. I had to take a knife out of a girl's hand who was going to stab my boss to death.
Oh.
I had no fear in me, which was another saving grace. So I took the knife out of her, and the kids respected me, because they knew that I told it like it was, and I wasn't going to take any crap from them. I also taught, I don't care what your diagnosis is. I don't care. My boss taught me well. It's no excuse, and everybody listen to this. It's no excuse for bad behavior. I don't care what your diagnosis is, because people use that a lot too. Oh, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, you could. It's no excuse. But people today, I find, use that for excuses. Hey, we've all had something happen to them. I had a sucky childhood. I'm not going to go around taking it out on others and taking it out on myself. Yeah, there was a period in my life where I drank heavily, because I got burnt out really bad, and I had to take a break. My boss gave me 3 months off so I could recuperate. So I was very fortunate that I had outlets and tools to use on my behalf, but not everybody has that luxury, especially today. Trying to get a good therapist and find one. I mean, they've closed a lot of agencies down here in Massachusetts, and I don't understand why. I don't know if they have shortage of staff, money problem. I don't know, but people need emotional help more now than ever before. So I'm rambling on, because this thing is
it's fine.
And I don't mean to be.
Linda James, there's a few things I'd like to say, if permitted. Can I go ahead? So I'm going to take that as a yes. So I've been thinking listen, Gail, told you I was very, very grateful for your connection. Earlier, we even said 3 for 3. We've been on 3 shows, but it tells us something, right?
I can't sleep, so I says, what the heck, I'm going to go on the show. I can't sleep.
Yeah. Look, I got you. Linda James knows this about me, but it sounds like I've just got to say it as it is, like more than one death landing on us tonight. It sounds like years of accumulated memories suddenly being stirred up at once. I couldn't
Yeah.
sleep, Gail. I
That's
really
a good
couldn't.
point. That's a really good point.
Now, I'm trying to think, why did this particular death affect me, or I should say us, but I'm going to say me particularly strongly? You said it. There's a person who's articulate, intelligent, handsome, full of possibility, and now that possibility ended in such a terrible way. And my mind, Gail, you okay? Let me tell you what happened. My mind was then connecting him to others, and my mind went to a young woman that I cared about years ago, and with the people that you are able to help and the people that I wasn't able to help. And you want to know something? The last part about the people I was able to help and the people I couldn't, that's especially cruel, because somebody who spent time helping people in crisis, the mind starts keeping a ledger that the heart was never meant to keep. I saved this one, I couldn't save that one. What did I miss? What could I have done? I've been thinking about you, Gail, and I was wondering if that's, I don't know if that's in there somewhere. But don't make yourself the answer. I have to answer these kind of questions right now, by the way.
I wish I knew him. I wish I knew him, and I wish I could have gotten in touch with him. It's very sad that he got to that point. And
so why is he affecting us so much? I mean, we didn't really know him.
Because he made a video of it, and we weren't expecting that. To have somebody like him, I mean, just look at him. He was a picture of health. He was a good-looking kid. He was smart, but everything he said resonated with me about the society. Every bullet point he talked about was right on, spot on. He was 100% correct. This is what this society does to people. Look what they did to this young man. I'm so wild inside at the governing body. I'm contemplating sending them a letter. I don't know if it's going to do any good. And
do what you need to,
Gail.
Gail.
Get together and get a class action lawsuit, because as far as I'm concerned, they're blood guilty. Bottom line is they're blood guilty for everyone that's taken their own life as a result of these morons.
This one hurts. I've seen this before. I've lost people before, but this one, it brought back some of those losses.
Yes, I agree.
Now, so look, I keep thinking about what you've been saying. We do keep noticing one another to the extent that we possibly can. We do keep answering the phone to the extent that we can. We do keep asking the uncomfortable question, and we keep sitting beside someone in, what can I say, these dark periods when we're aware. I mean, we can't be ever vigilant. We can't be in all the places at once, but when we can help, we help. That's why we're here. That's why it's 3 of 3 today, Gail.
Yeah, you're probably right. I said, you know what, I'm going on tonight. I mean, it's still bothering me, and I'm sure they'll pass in a couple of days.
Yeah,
but, I don't think this is going to be in vain. I think obviously it's affecting a lot of people.
Yes,
it is.
And what he did, I'm kind of upset with him. I don't even know him personally, but I'm a little mad at him to do that to himself. But,
which is really, really common in the grieving process of someone. That's a natural process when someone grieves, is to be mad.
And then you question yourself, well, what was going on behind closed doors? Well, none of us are going to know.
We don't know.
What was going on? I mean, what kind of relationship did he have with his wife? And here's the thing that really disturbed me. And and also is one area where if somebody's mentally ill, do not have any firearm in your home, period. How many incidents have we seen in America alone where somebody was mentally ill, they took one of their parents' guns, and there was one case where the father bought hunting guns for this particular kid. If you see something wrong with your child, don't go out and buy them weapons. I'm real. I mean, I have a weapon myself, but I don't have any children. I don't have anybody here but myself, and it's for safety reasons only. But if I had someone, and as a matter of fact, I did have a rifle and a shotgun when I was an active witness. But because my daughter was young, I brought them down to the police station because I didn't want them in my house.
Well, I was going to knock on your door for spaghetti and meatballs, but I mean, if I'm going to be met with lead, geez. Okay, Gail. Well, thanks for the warning.
I have a Louis Slugger in my bedroom.
You heard it here on Linda James's channel, folks.
Oh, God.
Did you say, dear God? Yeah. Okay, Gail, look, Gail, you hit the nail right on the head. Puns aside, but I think it's a part of why this is so disturbing. He made the videos. He spoke. He was communicating something of himself to people. And yet the suffering that was underneath wasn't reached in time. And that's the painful thing for an audience to sit with. I don't think the lesson should be we failed to listen to him. We don't know everything.
I think people are listening now.
Yeah, but you said it again. We didn't know everything that happened in his private life.
We don't know that.
We can't pretend that we do. So the lesson that we can take is that when somebody tells us they're struggling, we take it seriously. I believe we're doing that, Gail. I actually do believe it.
I think this is. I think his message is being heard everywhere. It's obvious because everybody's talking about it.
And listening without judgment, Gail?
Yes, that's a good one too.
So when we ask the direct question when we're concerned, and when it becomes an emergency, we don't try and carry it alone. We get professional help. I like how you gave us the helplines.
Well, unfortunately, Hotline, they took that away because of funding. And they used to have a crisis team, which was excellent. The crisis team would actually come to your house and evaluate you. And if they felt that you needed to be hospitalized, they would do the paperwork. But now you have to pink slip somebody, which is very difficult to do. And crisis teams have gone away too because of funding and lack of staff. And unfortunately, that's what's happening today. And the suicide rate today is through the roof. They had a whole thing on, I think it was Dateline in here in Massachusetts, that a lot of college students are committing suicide. And they don't know what to do and why they're doing it.
So, Linda James, if somebody is watching this today, tonight, wherever they might be, and is struggling, anything we can say? I'm just thinking, please don't make the mistake of thinking that you have to solve it alone, right?
Yes.
Tell somebody.
Yes, and that's, I think, what Gail is talking about too, is first off, 988 is a suicide hotline for the United States. And in the description box, I'm going to have more phone numbers for different countries as well. And from what I understand, and I've had somebody in my family who has been suicidal twice, she's told me that there's kind of like this time frame that if you get through it, I don't know if it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes or something, if you get to the other side of it, it helps you to not be so entrenched in it to where you want to end it all. So there is hope. Please reach out, and you can text 988. You can talk to somebody. Sometimes you just need to be heard.
Yes.
Okay. And people, this young generation today, they have had this cell phone in their hands, which is, a smartphone. They have the internet in their hands, and they're very wise. This generation is very, very wise. And I've been watching them stand up and in a lot of different ways, but I can also see how some of them can feel very defeated. But if you get past that time, if you reach out to somebody and or call that 988, that's what they're there for. You know, they're there to listen to you. And like Gail was talking about it a minute ago, it's not going to be with judgment. And let's be honest, the culture that, you know, many of us have come from have been a very judgmental culture, like even to be ashamed of having the thoughts. So of course you wouldn't bring it up, even
Yep.
poo-pooing on the idea of seeing a therapist. So you wouldn't
Right.
go. So things might be undiagnosed. So there's almost this perfect storm that could lead to these things within high control groups. But again, within society at large, this is a very common thing right now. And you know what?
Yes.
People are valuable, and we're all, most of us are just one paycheck away from being broker than broke
Yep.
and
Oh,
losing
boy.
our homes and being on the streets, which by the way is now illegal to be fucking homeless. Okay,
Oh
what a
yeah.
dirty trick
my
that is. Okay?
word.
Another
So you
problem.
know, it's like, holy crap, what if this happened? It's very easy to get into that place of ruminating, and we need help to get out of it, because once we get in that state of fear and there's no hope, cortisol is released right into our
Yes.
body, and it's hard for us to think past what is going on with us. So that's actually a state that abusers try to put us in. They put us in a place of fear so that we don't think well. So if you find yourself in that place, please know that you're not thinking with all of your circuits. Okay.
Right.
So if somebody that's an abuser gets you to fear, you're more easily directed. Okay. So
Yep.
anybody with a uniform on can say, this is the exit. So if you hear a fire alarm go off, if you're in a building, and somebody that's just wearing an apron, could be a 16-year-old kid, can point to this certain direction and say, this is the exit, everybody that's there is going to follow his directions. You know why? Because he's got a uniform on. He looks like an authority. It looks like he would know. So people that are perpetrators do show up like they are the ones that know. So I'm just saying that if you find yourself in that place, just know that you're not thinking with all of your circuits, and it's helpful to reach out. Call 988, call somebody you know,
Right.
just reach out, okay? Because you're not in your right mind.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And sometimes that's all it. Sometimes that's all it takes is just to have someone listen to you. That's
Yes.
just to have a confidant and someone that you trust and you can pour your heart out to. Because I tell my friends and all my family that I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
If they're having thoughts and they don't know what to do, and I told them to call me. I didn't tell it to my friends. I don't care what time it is. My phone's always near me, so, and I don't
Mhm.
care if someone wakes me up. If they need help, I'm going to be there for them until the day I die, because that's how I am.
Well,
not-
that's
It is how you are. A matter of fact, I have your personal number, and I know I can call you.
Yes, you can anytime.
You would be someone I do call.
Thank you for that. A lot of people say that to me. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, and I will take a break from people
Mhm.
because you got to understand that energy goes inside you, and
Yes.
I take a break sometimes, and I'll just won't answer phones for a couple of days, and I'm back. I have to
I
do
do
that
too.
for my own mental, because if I'm not good to myself, I'm not going to be good for anybody else.
Mhm.
Linda.
I want to give a tip, which
Okay.
might help people because it certainly helped me. I was in a fire and lost everything except for a few valuable things of mine, but I lost everything, furniture, everything. And I won't get into the nitty gritty, but this is what I did. I started journaling and I put it away. And every now and then I go back because there's always hope and things pass. You just have to remember that and believe that things aren't going to last forever. It passes. And I'm sure every one of us has gone through horror stories. We probably can all share our quota of horrific stories that we've witnessed or gone through ourselves or witnessed it. but journaling, because then you can see where you're at that moment. And then you go back and you say, gee, what was I thinking? So there's improvement as time's a healer. I really firmly believe that. And things pass. It's not always going to be horrible. Everything passes eventually. And sometimes things just happen for a reason that we have no control over. So keep a little log and a journal, and you go back and you can see the progression you've made, or if you didn't make any progression, or you're still working on certain things. But I have my journal right here on my desk, and I read it every now and then I add to it. Then I didn't realize where
That's
I was at.
beautiful. That's a very good suggestion.
It's
very
healthy too,
therapeutic. Yes, it's very therapeutic.
because we want to grow. We don't want to be stagnant and stay still. With time's moving, we want to move along with it, and things pass. Believe it or not, and I hope that through all of us together as a community and networking, that we're going to continue to have one another and bounce things off of each other.
As dysfunctional as we can be, when stuff like this goes down,
Yes.
we are completely serious as a heart attack, that if you call us, we're going to be there for you. Okay? Know
Yes.
this.
Yeah. Linda James, I
Yes.
think you and Gail here are stating some very important realities. You know, we often tell people, go see a therapist, right? I mean, it's as though you can simply phone somebody. But I listened to Gail. I mean, and you can't always simply phone somebody and be seen tomorrow. Sometimes you can't. And there
No.
can be long waiting. Yeah, you see, Gail. There can be long waiting lists, right? And when somebody's in acute distress, waiting isn't an adequate plan. So perhaps, I remember you saying we need layers of support. Remember that? I remember you saying this. So a therapist, when one becomes available, yes, but meanwhile, there are crisis lines. You say, oh, the crisis lines, a lot of them are down, or they've stopped working. Doctors, emergency services, trusted friends, family, community support, and simply making sure someone isn't facing an acute crisis alone is very, very important, because those are the layers of support that we actually need. There's no shame in using those services. A crisis line isn't a failure because you haven't got a therapist yet. It's just another door into help, and I think that's what we need to do. We can't just go, oh well, that hotline doesn't exist anymore, so that's it. No, in this particular situation, we're needing to know the layers. You were telling me about layers. I appreciated that. Did I lose you? But look,
No, I'm listening.
You don't necessarily need to know exactly what's wrong before you ask for help. I mean, you simply can say, I'm not coping and I'm frightened by where my thoughts are going. That's enough information for somebody to start helping you. It really is, And if, yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you've triggered something there, and I want to hear from you.
Well, all I know is I suffered in silence in the Kingdom Halls, and I'm sure I wasn't alone in that thinking, because there's a stigma attached to it. If you let them know, oh gosh forbid, gee, Gail's going to see a shrink. So there is a stigma. I don't know if the stigma is still there in this day and age, but it was back in those days. You didn't let anybody know you were seeking help. I mean, my philosophy is, you seek help physically, you got to go seek help if you have something wrong with your brain. I'm a firm believer. I mean, I was in therapy for a long time. I had no choice. I mean, you can't hold all that energy in from other people's stories. You have to release it. And exercise is another great release.
Yes.
That's twice I heard you talk about this energy. You're absorbing this energy, Gail.
I'm not an exerciser. Yelp could
Well,
probably.
you can sit and lift weights on your couch. There's all kinds of things.
That's
Do
true.
the chair exercise. We should do an exercise class together.
No, thank you. But
no chair exercising. I'm going to tell you a story about energy and why I believe in that. My girlfriend was a massage therapist. She was she was a big Jehovah's Witness woman. She must have been 5'11". She told me she ended up with breast cancer. You don't have to believe the story, but she was massaging a lot of people. And I asked her, I said, if you've got your hands on their body and you're touching trigger points and pressure points. Does that? She goes, it most definitely does. That energy comes in, and I have to figure out a way. So she goes, I get massages myself to release it.
Okay.
So I'm a
Yeah.
firm believer in energy, negative energy or positive energy. And I don't
And
want negative energy in
therapists.
my life.
Oh.
Therapists have therapists too.
Yes, you have to.
Mhm.
You have to release it. You can't hold all that information in from other people. You can't.
Well, Gail, when you're talking like this, I knew I had to talk to you. That's what happens to us elders for 20, 30 years. We were accumulating. Oh, go read your Bible. Go pray. You go to the meeting. That's the supposed cure. Okay, they're going. Oh, that's what it is. That wasn't working for me because I mean the amount of energy that I was accumulating. I mean, I was doing shepherding calls. I can think of doing shepherding calls
Uh-huh.
every week, twice a week for about. Ask me how many years. It must be about 30 years, Gail.
Wow.
30 years. And
So what do you do
and
with
I
all
go,
that information? When you
geez,
listen
well,
to
I
them?
can tell you it's sitting here on my neck, Gail, or it's sitting in my frickin' eyeball, or it's stuck in my head, or it's stuck in my groin, or it's stuck in my leg somewhere.
Let me tell you
Yes.
about the mental health field, which I don't like. I've fought with psychiatrists over this very issue. It's long. It's very what they do. A lot of what they do today, instead of dealing with the problem, what do they give you? A pill. That's why the pharmaceutical companies worth billions. Instead of sitting down talking with you, they don't have the time. They're rushed out in a half hour. I'm on Xanax myself.
Okay.
So they rush you out, and what are you going to go with that feeling? Oh, here, have a Klonopin, Gale, have for anxiety, have Seroquel. I need help sleeping. And I said, no, I want you to sit down and talk to me and go help me deal with this. And which way can I go? How can I do? No, it's too much manpower and they don't have it. So everybody gets a pill, or people drink and they self-medicate because everybody's walking around saying, where do we go? What do we do? What kind of a society are we having today? You wouldn't believe how many people I listen to all the time that they're lonely, number one. They don't want to go out anymore. They're stuck in the house.
Yes.
They don't want to because they're scared. That they want us scared.
Yes.
They want the fear mongering. Nobody wants to. And you know, if you go out and who's getting jumped, who's getting shot at, minding their own business, you're getting jumped. I can't go into Boston, Massachusetts because it's loaded with homeless people and the crime's outrageous.
Mm-hmm. I want to say that, you know, what you're talking about, Gail, that when you see a doctor that prescribes you a pill, that would fall under the category of a psychiatrist. So if you're needing somebody to talk to direct you and help you work through it, that would be a therapist. So these are two different things. Therapists.
Oh, but guess what? My primary care prescribes my medication. I don't see a psychiatrist because there was only one in my whole life that I thought was decent and knew what he was talking about. I would rather go to a psychologist than a psychiatrist, but I happen to have this great guy. What happened? The whole agency folded and I loved him. Now my primary care prescribes my Xanax to me.
Okay.
And that's what my sister's primary care gives her Klonopin. So people aren't going to the psychiatrist; they're going to their primary care, who's giving you the pills. So at least she listens to me for a few minutes. But she's not.
Well, I just wanted to decipher the difference between the two. If you expect someone to talk you through something, and you're sitting in the office of a psychiatrist, that's hardly ever going to happen. If you see a therapist, that's what they do.
He's only allowed to see you for 15 minutes. 15 minutes is what they see you for, and that's a prescription. That's a prescription. Correct. 15 minutes is a prescription appointment.
Every time I've had a psychiatrist, they'll take more than the 15 minutes for my very first appointment.
Well, that's
and then
good.
Yes, it's 15 minutes. So. But to help us work through things, we want to see a therapist. And I'm definitely for going to see therapists. I'm for going to see psychiatrists. I am definitely for that. I am on medication. I'm medication compliant. I have found that it has served me well. I didn't start until I was 30 years old, and I had to read all kinds of stuff to be able to start these things because I didn't want to be hooked on drugs. Okay.
Yeah, I
But-
agree with you. I'm very careful with the Xanax. I try not. I only get like 5 a month, and I break them in half. I try not to abuse them. I take them when I really can't sleep.
Yeah. So sounds like it's as needed. You know, sometimes
Yes.
that's yes, as needed.
No, I don't. I
And-
never want to go down that road where I get hooked on something.
Yeah. So Carrie Kay just said, she didn't say it the way she wanted to because she just erased it. Never mind. So I'm just trying to say the difference between the two. And
And I appreciate
do
that.
doctors overprescribe like you're talking about? Yes, they do. But there are people who truly do need help with the serotonin level in their brains.
Oh, I
Mm.
agree with that.
Diabetic and needs help with the sugar levels in their bodies because that's what they're doing. They're taking a pill that helps level out the sugar levels in their body. That's for diabetes. That's a smart thing to do.
I'm a diabetic, and I don't take my pills. I do supplements in therapy.
Gail,
Supplements
Is-
and what? Here I am
use
going.
therapy light,
It's-
and I use bitter melon and berberine
Okay.
for my diabetes.
Linda James, I want to just talk about the Xanax thing because that's a benzodiazepine, right?
Yes.
And I mean, oh, Gail, isn't that a hectic thing to get onto a benzo?
Well, mindful. If it helps, no. And it was on. It's 0. I don't know if you know anything about the milligrams. It was as a matter of fact, I asked the psychiatrist if he could put me on detox because I was on Klonopin for like 20 years, and it took a year to wean off of it. You just can't go cold turkey off that because of the withdrawal symptoms. So I asked him, and he laughed his head off. So what he did was he gave me a schedule and how to wean myself off. But it took a good 6 months of tapering off. Klonopin's a very hard thing to get off of. But it helped out a lot when I was full of anxiety, worrying about my daughter all the time. And worrying about the people I work with.
I can empathize with that a lot. Yeah. Carrie Kay just made this comment. Usually a therapist works with or is recommended by a therapist, but the patient is monitored.
Well,
I'm
that's
sorry,
obvious,
I read
yeah.
it wrong. Usually a therapist works with or is recommended by a psychiatrist. I think I said that wrong. But the patient is monitored. And
Yeah,
then
because
she says,
social workers can't prescribe, but psychologists can and psychiatrists can, and your primary can.
absolute psychologists
Social
can.
workers can't.
From what I understand, a psychologist cannot prescribe medication. A psychiatrist can. That's the 15.
But I do in my state, unless that's changed.
Okay.
I don't see psychologists anymore. I don't know what happened to them. I don't see them.
Okay, so let me finish reading this. So she was saying, especially with mental illness, and she said, very addictive. And she says, I just came in. Hi, everyone. So I was told before I started taking my medication for depression, which would be called an antidepressant, that balances my serotonin level in my
Good.
brain. So my therapist told me it was not addictive. Then I had to read all kinds of stuff on it. Xanax can be addictive.
Highly.
And so a family member of mine has died from that. And so it's, that is possible. So doctors are there to help monitor what we're taking and why we're taking it. Every time I see my primary care doctor, she sits down, she'll bring up each and every medication I take and why,
Good.
ask me how I'm doing on it. And doctors, especially psychiatrists or whoever, they always have somebody on call if they're not available. Okay?
Yeah.
If they're not available, they have a standby doctor. And the reason I'm saying this is sometimes you'll be prescribed something and it affects you very differently. Like I had a friend who said she was put on something and she felt hostile the whole day, like she wanted to go kick some ass. Okay, so she was not having a good reaction on this medication, right? So she calls the doctor and said, "Get me off," you know. So this was good. She was paying attention to, you know,
Yeah, that is good.
we, you know, so different people have different reactions, and for the most part it usually is a good reaction, but there is those times that can be you know, kind of off. So they, even if you try to reach out to them and they're not available, they have a standby. Okay, and every time I change a medication or start a new medication or even just change the milligram amount, I tell somebody that's in my life, physically in my life.
Yeah, because
I'm
you go through
starting this.
withdrawal symptoms.
Well, I do, but I also want them to know it's actually saying, keep an eye on me. If I happen to be like, you know, pumping the flagpole, let me know. This might be a bad reaction to the new medication, you know.
That's funny.
So and it's scary for me. Like I don't do street drugs. I don't drink alcohol. None of that, you know. I've always been terrified of it all. So just being terrified of taking medication, but I have found that it has benefited me immensely because the stuff I suffered with beforehand.
I always say thank God for drugs. I do. I've said that all my life. Thank God that we have drugs for certain people.
And the people that put them together. And yes, there is an abuse and you know, out there.
I'll tell you what, the psychiatrists don't. We had a psychiatrist in one of the group homes, and he was constantly changing the client's meds. And I said to him, I goes, look, you have no clue if this is going to affect them or not. We have to see it. We have to bear with the side effects that these pills may or may not give these clients. But you don't see that. So you have to listen to what we say, because I'm one-on-one with the clients, and I'm watching what the medication changes are going to do to them. Because you don't see that. You're just prescribing. And he said, your point's well taken. I said, well, you need to listen to us, because we're the ones that get the brunt if a client's acting out because of the medications. Now, I had surgery in June, and they injected me with a lot of steroids infusions. Now, I had no clue that it can cause you to be angry. Well, I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks, and I was swearing. I don't swear, but I was using F-bombs. And my daughter,
you had no clue that it caused what? I missed that word.
It caused me to be angry, but someone just told me the other day what steroids was doing to them, and I had them injected. And I got operated on, and they put steroid infusions, a bunch of them in my lymph node. I couldn't sleep. The next thing I know, I'm fighting with people. I'm swearing. I couldn't believe. I'm saying, what the hell's the matter? I'm using F this, F that.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
I was swearing in front of all the ladies downstairs, and they were shocked.
Wow.
But
this is so not funny, and I'm laughing because it's just so not you.
No.
I mean, you get very direct, but you're not. You're not F-bombing us when you tell us stuff when you're direct.
Wow, this is amazing that the brain chemistry can do this, right? I mean, that is wow.
I have a comment I'd like to read here by J. Mars.
Oh, I love J. Mars. Go ahead.
Me too. Growing up as a JW, as a kid, I suffered from depression as a teen, anxiety from 1979 to 1985. I realized decades later it was the cult.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes, when you're in an environment where you cannot be who you authentically are, just that to begin with causes depression and all the trauma that there's all kinds of things that contribute to, depression. And what a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't either, was having anxiety is a symptom of depression.
Yeah.
So if you have high anxiety or panic attacks, that's a symptom of depression, which I never put together, Thank you for
I
sharing
have,
that with us, J Mars. I really appreciate
yeah,
your
that was good.
vulnerability in
I have
sharing that with us.
anxiety. I don't. I worry. I don't have anxiety. I worry terrible, and I don't know how to stop it. I worry too much, and that can
Yeah, that,
cause
that is tough.
stress. I
That
mean, I'm
is
worried
tough.
about this kid. And I don't even know who he was. I'm
Right? Well,
worried about the whole situation and the effect it's having on everybody.
and I also want to mention that, yes, this is going on within the world of previous Jehovah's Witnesses and present Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes,
And it's also going on in other areas as well within society at large. There's many things that can contribute to it. But at
exactly.
the same time, it's important for us to have a mindset of what am I going to do next?
Yes,
Because part of our story of healing and growing is the possibilities that are now open to us. Because within a group that limits all of your possibilities, you have no clue of the possibilities
right.
that there are. And so part of this healing process is yes, we shed some bad behaviors and stuff, but we also learn about these other possibilities. Like people will tell us, like I'll never forget, I'm laughing right now and it wasn't funny. The last time my mother beat on me, I was 25 and pregnant with my second
Oh
child.
my.
And after she left, the neighbors came running over, and it took an adult to tell me, and I was 25, right? You can press charges on your mother. Like that thought never entered my mind. I did not know that
I
was a
know. I wouldn't have thought
possibility.
of that either.
And the thought in my head was, oh my God, there's no way I could do that. That's my mother. So I didn't, you know what I'm saying? The more we assimilate into society at large, and yes, we'll make our mistakes, but we're also gaining wisdom. We're finding out things
Right.
from different people. You know, like my big thing is y'all have human rights, and it's at the United Nations. I wonder why the org had us scared crapless of the United Nations. I'm sure there's quite a few reasons, but that might be one of them. So that we don't find out our human rights. Could that be? I don't know. But just so you know, even though we've been trained to be scared crapless of going
Mm-hmm.
to the United Nations because it's been labeled as the scarlet colored beast with that really good looking whore of Babylon on riding the beast, your human rights are there. They're called the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and we are entitled to them as we're a Jehovah's Witness, and even if we leave. And my big deal is Article 18, which I've now started the show. I now start the show with that Article 18 that our freedom of religion. In the center of that Article 18, it says we have the human right to change our religion.
Yes, we do.
That's part of Article 18. That's part of freedom of religion that we were never told.
No.
And that's like a big thing to me. Did you know you have the human right to change your religion? Well, within the organization, that's a disfellowshipping offense. That should not be that way. So that's, in my mind, a violation of our human rights. Is that ever going to be recognized in the courts of law? I don't know. Doesn't seem to have been yet.
No. Linda, I'm really sorry about what happened to you. That's terrible. I'm terribly sorry you went through that.
Thank you.
No one should go through
And
that.
thank you. And even at that time, I didn't realize it was abuse. I hit
We
her back.
didn't. We got beat. It was called capital punishment back then, but
Hmm.
everybody got beat up, and then we called, did you
Yep.
get the belt today? Yeah, I got the belt today.
Yeah,
They couldn't
it's
do that to you today.
that's true. So I ended up hitting her back because people told me for years, "Why don't you hit her back?" And I'm like, I can't hit her back. She's my mother. But for the
Mhm.
first time ever, I hit her back, and it wasn't really very hard. It was on the top of her arm. And I remember screaming at the top of my lungs that if she ever touched me again, I'd kick her effing ass. I couldn't believe I was saying this to her.
How'd she respond?
She backed away and left.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when the neighbors came over.
That's what she
And
never
she
bothered you.
has never laid a hand on me since.
Good.
But doing that would not have happened if it wasn't for my 3-year-old walking in the back door as my mother was beginning to beat on me.
Oh, that's
And
horrible.
in my mind, I could not let my child see my mother as the final authority. See how messed up my brain was? In my mind at that time, if my mother beat me, then my daughter would see my mother as the final authority, the top authority over me. And I could not
Oh,
let that
that's a good
happen to
point.
my child.
That's a
Could
good
not let
point.
that happen. Like I feared, the last thing I wanted was my kids to be raised in that culture, right? So there was that. So, anyways, and I'm not saying this to talk crap on my mother. Um, I also understand why she did a lot of the things that she did, but it still doesn't make it okay,
That's
you know?
correct.
So there's that.
And you don't know what she went through. I'm not
Right.
making excuses for her. I'm just saying you just don't know.
Yes. And I know somewhat of it, so I can understand why like I can remember telling her, Mom, you used to wake me up in the middle of the night to beat me. And she says, that's what happened to me when I was growing up. Like that's her
Wow.
normal. And I'm trying to tell her that wasn't
That's
okay.
not, no.
That's just not okay. But she justified it, with that's her normal. Isn't that amazing? So that's above and beyond what happened to me growing up within the culture of this high control religion. I see that as above and beyond. So what also the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's so many areas that we go through in life where we can experience trauma,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also plenty of areas in our lives that can help us work through this trauma and help us have more possibilities, okay, than we realized we had. The more we're going about this, the more possibilities we're going to find as things and options to choose from. So please know that.
I agree.
Again, I want to really thank Jay Mars for sharing that. And it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but isn't it amazing how decades later,
Yeah.
he realized decades later it was the cult. I still, to this day, things that I did or experienced 20 years ago will just one day go, like the light bulb turns on top of my head
Yeah.
and goes, and it all of a sudden just makes sense. But I didn't know at the time it was happening. And that's something that, some of us are gullible and naive that we're involved in a high demand, high controlled, destructive group or cult. It's basically like, well, it is a subculture off and aside, off and beside society at large. AKA, we grew up under a rock if we were raised in it, or if we get recruited, we spend time in it away from society at large, which within the organization, we learned how to self isolate. We didn't need a compound. We learned to self isolate with the different things we were taught. Bad
Yeah.
association spoils useful habits, all this other stuff. So it is just past the hour, and I would like to just take some time, and I would like us to have a moment of silence. There have been 3 people. Um, we could know their names or we could not know their names, but these precious souls have unalived themselves, and I just would like to take a minute for each one, and I'm just going to call them person number 2, person number
Okay.
person number 1,
Do you want us
person
to
number
say?
2.
Do you want one of us to say any words? Like, you want Matthew to say a couple of words?
Just a little bit of an intro, and then I would like some
Okay.
silence just for us to,
Okay.
if you're a praying person, pray for
Yep.
the family of their family, however you would spend it in honor, of maybe person 1 or person 2 or person 3. So let's take a moment of silence now.
Okay.
For person number 1. Okay, thank you, everyone.
No, thank you.
And I also would like us to take some time, a moment of silence, to think about person number 2. And again, if you're someone that prays or gives positive vibes throughout the universe, think of their family and yes, even ourselves. Let's give them a moment of silence in honor of person number 2. Thank you for joining me in that time of silence for person number 2. And let's keep in mind person number 3. Let's take a moment of silence for person number 3. And again, if you're a person of prayer or believe in just bringing good vibes, definitely think of their family at this time and ourselves. And let's give a moment of silence for person number 3.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone,
No, thank
for
you.
joining me
That
in
was a
this
very
time
loving
to honor them. I'm glad you got the love from that, Gigi. That's really good to hear. And as time goes by, when you do think of them, give yourself some time to
Yeah.
maybe take a moment on your own, much like this. That's
Yeah.
good for your soul and my soul, and it's good for the psyche.
There's so many people in pain, isn't there, today?
Yeah, there is. And things that we're not in control of.
Yes.
Thank you, Carrie Kay. Matthew, could you read J. Mars's comment that he made? Are you available for that, Matthew? Matthew may have walked away.
Why don't you read it? Oh, here he is.
No, I'm there, but I just didn't. Is that the comments, Linda James? Sorry for. Ooh. I should have the microphone here, eh?
I do hear you.
Help. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Purple Rhymes with Orange.
Is that just the comments there, Linda James?
Yeah, there's a comment under the roses by J. Mars. Could you read that?
It says, I was in a Scoliosis brace during my teens, attending Kingdom Hall and conventions assemblies. A night more. Is it a night more? And,
I
says,
think it's a
and then Kerry
nightmare.
Kay says, thank you, Linda. And then, Kerry Kay says, thank you, Linda. And then J Mars, Kerry, I hope you're okay. And then Purple Rhymes with Orange. I've been listening the whole time. So many things I would have commented on if I was at the keyboard. I've been on both ends of the blade, says Purple Rhymes with Orange.
Yeah, thank you. Remember me saying earlier in the show when I said I woke up this week going, I'm just terribly sad and I needed to call somebody? I called Miss Carrie Kay.
Yeah.
This is who I called and said, I'm just terribly sad, and she said, so am I. And we just kind of talked about it for a moment. Next thing you know, the conversation turned very supportive of each other. She's
Good.
telling me what she's been doing. I'm telling her what I've been doing. It turned into this really amazing phone call, and to be encouraging to each other for these things that we have in mind that we're wanting to do. This is what I'm talking about when I say our hope, is what are we looking forward to do? It could be joining a basketball team. It could be, I'm looking forward to going and getting some paint when I get some money. I'm going to be getting these certain colors, or I'm going to be grabbing a few canvases here. Whatever that is, that, to have that expectation of what are you looking forward to do that's within our power. Because, we've been talking about there's a lot of things going on outside of our power, outside of our control. Oh, she says it was wonderful. It really was. That was so, and I want to say she made the mistake. First off, she gave me a call a week before letting me know of person number 2 that we just had a moment of silence for.
Now,
And
were those
within
just
that
recent?
phone call, she said, call me anytime. So I did.
Linda,
ahead,
were those
Dale.
other 2 just recent?
Yes.
Isn't that
So
horrible? Were they young people?
I don't even know who the third one is. Okay. But a friend of mine was reading me avoidjw.com. And there was an article in there that stated that we've lost 3 people just recently. And it wasn't, the names were not mentioned, And
No,
that was
it's
probably done
been a
on
month.
purpose. Yeah. I want to give this a bit of reverence, and I don't want the family to ever find something like this and think and come across it and receive us talking negatively about the loved ones they've lost,
No, we don't ever want to do that.
Not at all. Not at all.
What would that accomplish?
Right? Yeah. So back to J Mars. What was that brace that you were wearing?
For his scoliosis.
So that was
to get the back straight.
Okay. So during your teens, you just want to fit in. You just want to fit in. And wearing a brace like that will not. It's just going to make you stand out. And then you're going to all these other things, the Kingdom Hall, the Assembly Hall, all these different places. Yeah, I can totally understand how it would be a nightmare, because you definitely end up standing out. Probably not in the manner you wanted to. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm actually laughing with some empathy. See, I used to be the tallest person in my class all the time. Every single class I was ever in, I was the tallest person in my class. They used to call me Bigfoot. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
I stood out without even trying. Then when I got in choir, my choir teacher was like, You're standing out, pointing directly at me.
This is
Okay.
not a nice childhood, Linda James.
So I'm trying to empathize with
Sorry.
him. Going, I understand what it's like to stand out. And having this brace on, of course, you didn't want to stand out.
No.
Yeah, no, sorry about that, and sorry to John as well. I mean, sheesh, we as humans, we got to do better, right?
Yes.
We got
So
to.
part of this healing community is getting a chance to listen to. The phone call when I called her, it was just so wonderful to hear that these are some things she's looking forward to doing, and I was telling her some of the things I'm wanting to do, and it came just real natural for me to go, oh my God, of course you'd be great at it, but I can see it from over here that that's truly a gift of hers, and the compliments and encouragement came out very naturally to me. So when you do see someone who is talking about looking forward to doing something that you can tell is their gift, is their style, and it's going to be a good fit, be sure and encourage them. Be sure and give them props, and because we need that. We are naturally insecure. I can remember before I started showing my face, and today I'm not, because I was really afraid to get on here and show my face,
Why?
because I didn't want my bio family, who are still in the org, to come
Okay.
across this and for it to be in their face.
Yeah, but
Not
you're on
that
every
they-
week.
What?
You're on every week.
I am, but before I started showing my face, I wasn't on.
okay.
I was only doing
Wait,
this. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did that. I did with, so back when I was with Rick on 6 screens, it took me a while before I showed my face. I had to go through a real shift
Okay.
of what is my purpose? What am I committed to
Oh.
cause?
Interesting.
Okay, well, I'm getting educated today. Linda James, I just go, Linda James always been professional, has been doing this for like 50 years almost.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Getting into trouble. No, I'm just saying that, okay. I just regarded you as being really together with this. I learn a lot from you, Linda James. So now I'm learning something else. No, hang on a second. This has been a journey in itself, So, okay, I've got to appreciate something more today. Thank you.
Yeah, so I had a few friends tell me, encourage me. And even before that, I wanted to be somebody that spoke up within the community, and I hadn't yet done that. Even John Cedars was like, go for it. Okay, go for it. I said, because there's not enough of us women speaking up. And it was just in a live chat. He says, go for it. So I got encouragement from people, because I was
Right.
putting it out there that I'm kind of scared, and that's also normal. That's very, very normal. Hey, it's all the show has showed up. Yay.
That's a
Hello.
cool name.
Linda James, this is something I'm curious about. May I ask you
Sure.
what the fears were of showing your face? What was that all about? Or am I getting too personal?
So my bio family knows that I'm not in agreement with the governing body.
Right.
What they don't know is that I speak out publicly against this organization.
Ooh.
Okay. And I did not want them to come across it in a manner that would be like in their face. So I don't use my real name. I didn't. I was hesitant to show my face, and even Purple was mentioning doesn't care for her family to come across her channel either. So
Well,
I didn't want to be in their face.
We've kind of done it now.
But I had to come up with why is this going to be okay? And I decided, I guess, I was going to ask them, is there anything I said that was inaccurate? you know,
Okay.
and they would
Got
have
my
to come
attention.
and tell me.
Mhm.
So, and then
So
there's that whole,
how long ago was that, Linda James?
probably about 4 years ago.
This is very interesting. Okay, but you know the respect has gone up several. I mean, it was high already. It's just gone up several notches because what was the issue here? The issue is I'm going to speak up about the truth here, and you're now putting yourself into a position. No, come challenge this. Tell me if I've been wrong here. If I've got my facts wrong.
Right. That's what I've decided I would tell them when and if they run into this platform that I do here. And by the way,
how's it gone?
I've decided to start uploading these videos to archive. That archive thing
What's
where
that?
people put up books and stuff.
Internet Archive.
Correct. I've got 6 uploaded so far. So
I
want
didn't
that stuff
know
to
that's
last.
a thing.
It's a thing. So you're on there, Matthew.
What?
You're on there
How did I get on there?
because you show up on these shows with me.
Oh, I guess that's how.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So it's I've been scratching my face, and I think I've been playing with my nose, and so that's all there forever and ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
And
Okay.
it only says my name, not yours. So over time, I'm just going to keep uploading them.
Okay.
I've heard that they're going to take it down, but until then, I'm just going to keep uploading them.
What are they taking down?
I heard that whole internet thing is going to be taken down.
Internet
But that
Archive.
but that might not even happen. There's so many things out there that they say they're going to do, and it doesn't happen. And I hope it happens to be one of them that doesn't happen. It is so good to see it's all a show here tonight. What a cool surprise that you're chiming in.
Well, we kind of discussed this before the show, didn't we? We said we're just going to do it like this today.
Yeah. So it's okay to be scared about things that you used to not have the option to do and you do want to do now. For instance, anything that is a self-interest. If we are in an abusive relationship or if we're in a cult or whatever, they will always poo-poo that and say things to you to squash these things down.
Yes.
And if you've already started on them, they're going to talk you into letting them go. And it's going to be one of those, you need to pick me or that. It's a loyalty test where you have to prove your loyalty to them. So you end up giving up pieces of yourself. It doesn't have to be that way today. Today you get to pursue your self-interests. Go ahead, Matthew.
I tell you what's buzzing around my head is Gail's thing about energy.
Why?
Because, hey?
Why?
No, it makes a lot of sense because I'm going, yeah, you're right, Gail. You right on the, you got it correct. Because I mean, we're all made up of atoms, but I mean, atoms is just full of space, right?
Right. We're energy too.
Yeah, energy. I mean, there's certain things. I'm making a confession now. Since I've done live streams, I've got this new pain here that I didn't have before. It's going down my,
Interesting.
Maybe you're holding your neck that way too long.
maybe, but there was somebody that came onto the channel who says, I got this pain that's going down my arm. And I went, oh, that's interesting that this person who comes onto the channel or who talks on the channel has got this thing. And it was a big issue. And it was sort of like, I was wondering if there was like a resonance thing. when they said that, I was going, I wonder if there's a resonance thing, because the way that they're describing it, that's exactly what I feel, you know? So, yeah, I don't know, Gail. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking out loud, and I'm listening to you talking about absorbing these energies, and yeah, it's just resonating. That's all.
Well,
Yes.
I think we're all made of energy, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we have boundaries too around us. And you've got to be careful letting certain people in and do it. Like I don't like someone coming up close to me. I push people away.
Yes, I got that.
The clients they come right up to my face, and I say, look, we've got a space around each other. Honor that, because I can't stand someone coming right up to my face. Well, anyway, because I don't know, I'm a real freak about energy and stuff, and positive and negative. And I can feel negative energy from certain people too. And you know what's weird? I felt a lot of that going to the Kingdom Hall. I don't know if anyone else had this experience. I would leave the Kingdom Hall wild, and I could never figure it out. I would leave angry. I'm like, I'm supposed to be leaving happy and upfilled. I never felt that way. Did anybody else? I never felt happy and uplifted when I left the Kingdom Hall.
Gail, I felt. I was telling Linda James. I said, "Man, I was feeling really crappy, terrible." And then I said, and I went, "Okay, I'm going to just go for this." Oh, I told Linda James. I said, "I'm just not in great condition. I'm probably going to call it a day or make it a wrap or whatever." And so, but I did my channel, and then Peps rocked up, you rocked up, Zafki rocked up. I felt great, and I was going, that's what it's
supposed to be like. You're supposed to feel energized when you hear something positive. I never felt energized when I left. I don't have that now. I don't have that feeling anymore like I did.
Really?
So what's that tell you? That told me volumes when I felt peaceful and free after I finally left them and stayed away. I feel free now. I didn't feel free before. I felt obligated to these idiots.
May I ask, Gail, are you feeling a bit better? Because I mean, you've been plugging 3.
Yeah, I do. I needed this, and I thank you for letting me talk.
Well, isn't it you working things out by?
I do too. Yeah. What were you saying, Matthew? Isn't this kind of working things out?
Yeah.
Well, I was, when you said the thanks, I was thinking of that Hawaiian. Was it the 4 pillars, right? Where there's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. Do you remember that one? We were talking about it the other day, Linda James. Do you remember?
Okay, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What is it? Ho'oponopono. 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 So it's the 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you. Thank you, I love you. I think those phrases are very, very powerful. They're really
very
are.
They're very relational too. You don't just say them to anybody. You say them to people that you're in relationship with, or family, and it sounds very intimate and intentional.
Well, the I love you shifts your energy into self-love, compassion, and connection. The I'm sorry acknowledges your awareness of the hurt or the negative energy. Yeah. This is what I was getting from Gail when she was saying energy. I was going, where have we been talking about this? And I was going, that's this Hawaiian 4 pillars. Please forgive me. It asks for a release of that burden, of that energy that takes responsibility for your partner. And then the thank you is expressing gratitude for the lesson. It's a release and it's a growth. It's a release of the energy. It's a growth. This thing that they do in Hawaii, I think it's phenomenal. Okay, this is a very, very important spiritual practice. And I think that there's something connected to this energy thing that Gail's talking about. I'm just thinking out loud. That's all I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
And
you
that's-
feel vibes from people? Can't you? Did you ever feel vibes from certain people that they give
Yeah.
off certain energy? Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm talking about. Do you ever get like bad vibes from certain people? Like dogs can pick up on vibes.
Sure.
Animals can. And
Yeah.
Yes.
Or I go, this is
if you're
annoying.
astute, you can pick up on it too. Huh?
This is annoying, or it's tiring me, or it's giving me a headache, or it's putting me into conflict and I'm getting defensive. I think there's warning signs before I can actually see my behavior changing, or I'm getting sharp with somebody, or I'm in a situation where I'm starting to relax and there's a shift in energy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good questions.
You know, Matthew actually shared something on his channel, the area where it's community or where you can share a post, and I found it really intriguing because he mentioned that some family and friends came over, and you know, right off the bat they're asking him if he's willing to shave his beard and cut his hair, and next thing you know, he's mentioning how he's being talked over, and
Yes.
he actually he wrote it all out, decided he was going to shut down this conversation that was happening and ask them to leave.
Good.
And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, that is such growth. And I have been trained to stand there and simply listen to all of the stuff that gets said to me. So I don't know about you, Matthew, but I see this great growth. Okay.
I've got a slight correction on the story. I didn't ask them to
Thank you.
leave, but
Okay.
I'll tell you what I did. I said, I'm going to leave because
Oh,
I'm not controlling them.
I see.
I have control over myself.
Was this at your place? you
Yes,
live?
but I
My
go,
God, that's brilliant.
so I go,
I'm
I'm
leaving
going to
now.
leave. You decided to come here. Well, I'm not going to say you can show yourself, because that's me commanding or taking control over others.
Okay.
You came here of your own volition. This situation of your own volition. And I was being genuine. I wasn't lying. I was going, no, thank you very much. I actually made physical contact. I touched somebody's shoulder. I said, thank you very much. I'm grateful for your presence. True, I wasn't lying.
Right.
But I'll just go, I have reached the thing that ticked me off was being spoken over. I'm going,
Right.
no, what's happening here? No, I've reached a limit. I'm not going to do this, because as soon as you're doing this, I'm having to raise my voice, and I'm going, if I'm having to do that, I can feel I'm going to lose it. And if I lose it, this is just not going to go well. And I'm going, why am I having to be up against this negative energy? No, I'm just not going to do this. If you're coming here and you're going, you have some sort of genuine care, how dare you actually start speaking over me? Then it's actually nothing to do with your genuine care. You actually have no kind of genuine care. That's not respect. That's just rude. It's rude.
Right.
No, I'm not doing this anymore. No.
And
And these are the same people who go, oh, these are always your terms, Matt. It's always your terms. I go, I tell you what, if this was reverse polarity on you, start speaking over you, you'd freak out. And I suddenly realized I'm the person that's in a defensive mode here. But this is a two-way street. And I know if I hold up a mirror to these persons, just in the slightest way, they would absolutely freak out, going, no, I'm not playing this. It's not happening. I'm not here to argue it. I can just feel that there's an energy drain. I'm just not doing this anymore.
And I agree with you that they showed up with good intentions, and then it turned to be something you weren't willing to tolerate any longer. And I love the fact that it was your place but you chose to leave. That is an option. Walk
Yeah.
out your front door and leave
I
them
just went-
standing.
I went upstairs. I
great.
just left it. They were-
Okay,
Well,
upstairs, okay.
it's like a sun lounge, so they can't come in further, but they're
I
just
see.
stuck in the sun.
You can walk away from, yeah. And when you say speaking over, this is
Yeah.
a very control tactic. So
Yes.
you can be speaking and I can a bit raise my voice and still be talking as you are talking. So I would be taking control and telling, by doing that as you're speaking, it means you are less than. It's a power move. That's what that is, speaking over as you're talking. I'm going to speak over you and take control of this situation. It's a power trip.
Yeah, and now I'm
And
going to
then-
leave. Bye.
Yes. It's an
So
intimidation thing. It's
you've killed your
talk.
conversation, so you're wasting your time.
yes.
You know, knock yourself out, guys, because I'm done. Don't waste my time.
And,
But
and
it wasn't waste my time. I could actually feel that it was getting on my nerve, and I'm going, the next thing that happens is now I find myself competing. If now I'm losing that energy,
Competing.
and but I know it doesn't look good. I start looking at myself and I go, I don't like how I'm having to raise my voice. I don't like how. And the other thing too is after the damage, I'm going, if there is a twinge of some sort of anger coming out, I don't want this thing weaponized. The next thing is a recording. Oh, we're recording old Matt losing it. No, it's over. It's done. This is not happening. And
This
I think
is
that
also-
is recognizing the patterns and saying, no,
Mhm. Yes, pattern. It was exactly what you said. There are people that might be in our lives that push us and push us and push us
Mm-hmm.
to get us upset,
Yep.
say very derogatory things, say very condescending things. And then when we come back with, why don't you shut the F up? And we're trying to counteract them with a passionate reaction, then they get to play the victim and point the finger at you because you just lost all control. And then, it's done strategically. So pay attention to that. And it's a thing. It's a thing.
Well, I appreciate the community here. Kerry K. Kerry, thanks for and thanks for your positive vibes on many times, Kerry. Kerry, you recognize these things. Kerry says, can I read Kerry's comment?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
It says, can't feed it, Matthew. They want attention and use it against you. Good choice. That's it. She said it.
I love the fact that you said you went into a different room of your own place. This is an option, people.
No, I went upstairs. I didn't just separate myself from the sun. I was gone. No, when I said I was leaving, that was it. I said bye.
Okay.
And there's an Andrade poem, and I quote it more and more and more. It says, "My soul has a hat." I mean, you should read this thing. It says, "I do not have the time for these endless meetings. I just don't have it." I think it helps. I know this sounds bleak, but it helps having a near-death experience because you're just going, well, I was so close to just not existing. But the fact is, I've come back for whatever a reason, higher calling, higher self, God, whatever it is that's brought me back. And I'm just going, I just don't have the time for wasting with these stupid meetings. And I'm sorry, I know it sounds like, really bleating and gripe session, but I'm going, it's a waste of time. Please do not. That was the other thing that was annoying me. I was going, I've got to be standing here. These people have come, and it's always uninvited, by the way. It's always the sudden uninvited thing where I go, I would never do this. I would always call. Oh, I'm getting cross now. But it's I call people. Oh,
why are you getting cross, Matt?
Linda James.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking over you because they disrespected you by showing up unannounced. That is actually a disrespect.
Yes, I don't like that. I don't like showing up without being,
If they come unannounced,
yeah,
and
I don't like
if
that.
if I'm unavailable, then have the audacity, oh, it's your fault that you didn't meet when we came round. How dare you? How dare you? And you're making it my fault again. You rock up unannounced, and now it's my fault I cannot meet with you?
Yeah.
What the hell? No. Where does this happen in any kind of professional situation?
It doesn't.
It's just
It's
audacity
common.
and arrogance.
Yeah. Hello, fighter of truth. Good to see you here.
Hi, fighter.
Phew, man, that was something that
You see
happened
what's
there.
rising up in you?
Do you feel better now,
It's
Matthew?
normal. It's
Gail,
normal for that to
you're
rise
re-
up in
It's gonna
Hello. You guys are good at what you do.
Do you feel better now, Matthew?
And you know what? It's all the show said. It's narcissistic behavior.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez. I'm so full of knots, Gail. That's the truth.
But if I was there, I'd come and give you a nice neck rub.
Speaking of neck rubs, you
Thank
know,
you.
during the time of C19, my daughter was a hairdresser at that time, and they changed their routine. That in between each client, they did a very sanitary wiping down of everything, and
Uh-huh.
clients and themselves
Oh,
wore certain
yes.
kinds of masks and stuff to be able to give this service. And I was telling her that because of everybody being, it's because of it being suggested that we shelter in place and not go do public things, the
Yeah.
human touch is so important right now. And your touch on these people, and they put them, you know, when you go sit yourself in a chair and you're going to be groomed and everything, you know somebody is coming in your space, you know that you're going to be touched. And I knew that when I was a hairdresser too. So there's a time and a place that these people knew that they would be touched, and how healthy that was going to be able to do that. So even though I used to be able to do that when people would come sit in my chair at work, I could not do that if I'm standing in line at the grocery store. I can't go into somebody's space. It's inappropriate. And touch them, you know, to be soothing to them or whatever. When I saw somebody in stress or whatever, you really have to ask permission. You know, can I give you a hug, or you know, stuff like that. So I was letting her know just how important this time in history that she gets to be that soothing touch for people. So when you just said that, Gail, that's really what it reminded me of. Just you know, sending that possibility of being a soothing touch. That was beautiful.
I have problems,
Get a hot
folks.
massage. Do they have massage parlors in your neighborhood? Go get a nice hot massage on your neck. You'll feel like $1 million.
Are you saying that to me? I just don't like being touched.
Not if
Oh,
a nice
wow.
looking woman
Okay.
came and gave you a nice neck rub.
She's challenging. Oh, that's too funny. Oh, Dallas is in the house.
I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, I feel like set up here. You know,
No,
Well, seriously, what if some hot babe came and you went in and she
Uh-oh.
laid and she gave you a nice massage and had nice music going?
okay, I'm going to explain this one. So what's the whole thing in JW? Is a big sexual repression thing, right, folks?
I don't know.
Gail, yeah, it's a big. So it's like I've been. Okay. Oh, here it is. So after Gilead, they tell you, you never touch. For us men, you never touch a female ever.
Okay.
You can't hug somebody?
There's a scripture. Where is this thing? But they drilled it into us. They went, you never touch.
You
Don't do
couldn't
it.
hug a sister.
You never initiate it. Don't ever initiate it.
Oh, really? Well, we had a I don't know what they call him, Poseidon. He would hug all his sisters.
I realize that, but I mean, we
Highborn
understand how that works. That's a power thing.
Oh, it is. And his poor wife just sits there, and he's there hugging all the sisters.
Now you're getting me
Wow.
started, because I mean, I had the same Gilead instructor that tells me, "Oh, you're forbidden from doing this." He didn't, but then some persons came on my show. They started giving me names. They didn't know I was in association with some of these people,
Uh-huh.
and it's a horror. I can't even start on this thing. These people. It's just such a. It's just abuses after abuses. I'm horrified. I was with these people, but I go, yes, it's absolutely what I saw. It goes. It's out of control. They had Bible studies, young Bibles.
Yep.
If I start on this thing, it's just horrifying.
We'll change the subject. I just want to ask Linda something. Did you ever have an elder squeeze you real tight with a hug for a freebie?
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Well, we had a couple of those.
But I've heard about them. I've heard about those hugs.
This used to happen to me at the branch, folks. There were men who used to
I've
feel
had-
me up. This is what used to
Oh, my
happen. These were people in the service desk. They were in the branch committee. They used to do this. And I look
Wow.
back now and I go, I should have thrown a goddamn punch.
Yeah, you should have.
Wow.
Sorry, I've
Um,
said that on the air now, but
That's all right.
looking.
I'm not
I'm looking-
sorry.
I don't know how we
That's
get into this subject. Whose fault? It's your fault.
It's my fault.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know.
I started
just-
it with the massages. Sorry.
Oh, gosh.
We're
Okay.
getting punch drunk.
Linda James, is there a way to bring Norm? Would I actually punch these people out? No, I wouldn't. I would just say to
I
them,
would pay to see that.
I would say, please, can you respect my personal space?
What's interesting is that you realized later, or did you realize it at the time, what was going on?
I've looked back on it and I go, this is just highly manipulative and very, very creepy.
Yeah.
Really creepy. And it's a power thing.
You're right. You're right about it being a power thing.
Now,
'Cause
did
it's
they
in-
leave when you went
It's an
upstairs?
intrusion. What did
I'm
you say,
sorry.
Gail?
Did they leave Matthew when you went upstairs?
Yeah,
Did they
they
leave
left.
the premises
Yes,
when
they
you
left.
They stayed?
No, they left.
Well, I guess your message, your point, you made a point. by leaving.
Oh no, it was real checkmate. It was real
Oh.
checkmate because look, you don't know what happened here. It was, oh Matt, you need to shave your beard. No, you see, Linda James knows the story, but you
Are they
don't.
coming back? That's all I want to know.
I don't know. It was a bit of a stunner because because the whole issue is you'll be a lot. Linda James knows this thing, but they said you'll be a lot happier when you shave your beard off, and I said, really?
Why is that? Did you ask them why?
No, I didn't. I just went, okay.
I want to know
I
what
said-
the reasoning
I
behind
said-
that is.
Every time you meet me, you're like a stuck record. You say the same thing over and over and over again. I said, right, so here it is. Can we start protecting the actual people in the congregation? Because I've got people begging me for help. And I said, you wanting me to come back where I'm now vulnerable for being trespassed? And basically I've had my family threatened. So you've asked for this thing, so you're going to get this thing now. And if you don't believe it, I go, well, I'm not here to prove it. I go, there's a whole police deposition that you can go and take a look at where it's been witnessed. I go, the whole Matthew 18, 15 to 35 has been exhausted. And you think it's just this year, or you think it's a recent thing? No, this has been accumulating since 2019 and beyond. I go, how many years does it take to actually try and get some kind of justice or to try and correct this problem? And I go, these elders and persons that in the congregation cannot deny that there has been stacks of letters, there's been stacks of advice that's been flying back and forth. I go, if you want to really look at it, it's all there. I go, there hasn't been records under the sun to this kind of degree as what's been done here on the peninsula. I said, you can go and take a look. I said, I have come to my limit on this thing. It is now a police matter. Let the police do it. I said, I'm not judging this thing. I go, this thing was judged by the organization until they realized they were judging themselves. I said, I didn't make any judgment. I said, I asked for advice. I said, now it's a police matter because they just ignored things, obfuscated. And I said, that's as far as I can go. You're now speaking over me. I said, I've given you the leads. If you are genuinely interested in this and you want to pursue this thing, then you're under obligation of Matthew 18:15 to 33 to take a look at this information. But you can't because it's going to create liability. But you've now asked for it, and this matter is at the city gates. You tell me where I'm wrong scripturally. Go ahead. Challenge you. You can't. Okay, so I'm getting into a rant here, but I'm reliving the situation.
Well, you need to get it out.
Yeah, well, yeah. There is.
All right, that's what we're here for, Matthew.
Look, Gail, I'm obvious to you. Look, because of your training, you're going. Oh, you recognize all the signs here, you know. So I realize I'm transparent here. I can't avoid it.
You're forgiven, Matthew.
Thank you. What did we say? The Hawaiian 4 pillars. I'm sorry, Gail. I'm sorry, Linda. I'm sorry to your circle here. Please forgive me. I forgive you. Thank you. I love you.
Oh.
I love you too, and I'll try not to ever touch you, because I'm going to respect that not liking to be touched thing. This is a thing.
I think it'll heal. It's just I'm not there. It's just
okay.
It's going to take time.
Okay.
Can you accept a hug from somebody?
It's going. Do you need the hug? Because I don't.
I'm a
That's a
huggy
good
person.
question.
I'm just asking. I'm a hugger person.
So Gail, do that. But I'm
a touchy-feely type person.
I know there's damage here. I'm aware of it. I know I should be, but it's because we've had this pseudo love, or I have.
I get it. I get it.
It's like, oh, we love you. No, you don't. It's a load of bull crap. It's crap, you know. And it's a pseudo love bombing thing, and I just please don't do it. It's just making me.
That is
so Gail.
That is so
it's not
interesting, Matthew.
It's not
I
something
agree with
against
you.
you. I actually know that you're the right. I feel friendly to. I enjoy when you're around, Gail. You know this. You know this. Same for you, Linda James. But I know that there is an accumulated damage that's happened, and I go, I'm not there yet, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because I want there to be that kind of thing, but the opposite thing is happening, and I'm going, I don't know how to fix that other than just to be in this process of trying to keep having contact, and it's just got to take its natural course. I think I don't have an answer here.
You know,
sounds like you're open to it, so that's really good.
I see a big change in you, Matthew.
My neck is killing me after saying all that.
I do. You're not listening. I see a big change in you, Matthew. I do. You seem more more out in the open now to me, and I noticed a big change in you.
Gail, when we first met, do you know that I could barely that memorial was the most I had ever. Okay. I've got to explain something. It was because there was a need. I rose to the occasion, as well as would never have happened. But I was barely able to talk prior to that.
Well, you could have fooled me. You did an excellent job.
I realized that it doesn't make sense, but that was what was happening. I was so psychologically blocked up.
So I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory. Before the memorial of this year, 2026, Gail and I and Matthew were on one of my shows that I do here on Saturday nights. And Gail was talking about how she wanted to go to a memorial, but she wasn't talking about a Jehovah's Witness memorial. She wanted to be able to go to one, she's used to the tradition and all that. And she said, and I want a man to lead it. So we both, Gail and I, was looking over at Matthew right? Matthew's like, sure. And
I'm
and
sorry
he
to put
did.
you on the spot. I'm sorry.
And I
Uh-uh.
understood why she
So,
wanted a man to lead a talk or whatever we wanted to call it, service. It's what we're used to seeing and everything. So
Yes.
he rose to the occasion, and I was giving some of my feedback of how I wanted it to look as well. I said I'd really like it to be very inclusive, whether someone's a Christian or not, whether they're a JW or not. And what he ended up putting together was I c- I loved it so much I could not
Yep.
stop smiling. Okay,
Me too.
I was smiling so hugely the whole time. I could not. I just was like, this is the most refreshing memorial
I
service
agree.
I
Yep.
ever heard, and it was his idea to do it for 24 hours, much like Purple Rhymes with Orange does a thing every Christmas to where nobody has to be alone. He fills up um, a big old slot of a few days.
Oh,
Matthew did this for 24 hours so that anybody on any area of the world could tune in at a decent time for them. So what he did was he came up with an hour-long talk and then an hour-long time of music and visual, just beautiful things. But we also opened up for communication, for talking, for stating how we were experiencing that time.
that's right.
And when it came time to partake, he did it much like what we did today in taking a moment to honor person 1, 2, and 3. He didn't set it up in such a way of how it was supposed to look. So however it looked for the person watching it, that's how it looked in their way. So I just loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it.
yeah. It was
I
high
just wanted to give a
quality.
bit of a backstory. It was high quality, yes.
it came from all of you. If it hadn't have been for Gail just spontaneously, oh, please, and we're going, is that how you really feel, Gail? And Gail's going, yeah. I'm going, okay, can do that. But then the ideas generated here on the channel, it was like, why do we do? Oh, I was saying to you, Linda James, how would you feel doing part of the talk?
Yep.
No, it was beautiful.
and the way it worked out, you actually did, but it was an organic thing. It was like, okay, I'm going to come on and let's do. Oh, that was the first time I did live stream. I think it was like learning how to do. I'd never done that before. That
Yes,
was the
that's
first
right.
time learning this video ninja, and let's try this thing and getting that thing going. And that was a learning curve. It was a huge
Hmm.
learning curve, that thing. But what it was, there was support. Gail came on, you came on, a few persons came on, gave their experiences. It was unlike anything, and it's there permanently. People can go and,
Yes, yes, it
oh,
is.
and then it went on to TikTok, and then it
Hmm.
was like Africa was responding to this thing. I was going, what's going
Cool.
on? Yeah, it's still something. Thanks for reminding me.
And I remember when it was live, some of the chat, how we have chat here in this live
Yeah.
stream. I remember seeing some of the comments. Um, some of the comments was like, um, just remaining quiet in thought. So even though they weren't saying anything, they were not saying anything because of just how much they were, um, how much reverence they had for the moment. That was amazing to me. That
Yeah.
was just amazing to me.
It was a good
And
day.
the,
It was a
the
really
thank
good day.
It
Mhm.
was very well put together.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Linda James, and everybody that was involved in it. Yeah, very special. That's going to stay with us for a long time.
Yeah.
I
Now we'll
think
talk
so.
about next year.
Yeah,
I
so
want to share.
yeah.
I want to read a comment here. Fighter
Okay.
of Truth mentioned at Matthew. I completely understand. My sister was the same way. She didn't like hugs. I couldn't even hug her. So I just wanted to share that with you.
No, thank you
And
for that.
I think I got a little bit of feedback. Call it anything but a talk.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's amazing because she's saying any JW lingo makes me want to vomit.
I
That's
Yeah.
saw that.
exactly
Yeah.
what that
Got
is.
it.
JW
Oh,
lingo. It's called
can I give you
loaded
a
language.
little bit of news from JW Lingo Land? I
Sure.
had one yesterday. It was, oh, Matt, have you they already know. They already know what's happened. In fact, I think they come in and spy on the streams. This is the same person who says, "I send love to everybody." Are you still with us? Are you still
Yeah.
there, Linda James?
I am.
Okay. So this is the same person who said, "Send love." So they
Okay.
got hold of me.
The
They got hold of
pioneer.
me. Yeah. It says, this was yesterday. I said, Matt, yeah. Did you see the meeting this week? So I said, to confess, no, I did not. I said, no. He says, I already know you didn't. He says, but please, would you get your consulting mind onto it? Because we know that you've been a consultant for the writing department, blah, 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 blah. So I said, okay. Then what is it I'm looking for? No, just take a look, please, Matt. Take a look. So I look at the week's meeting and I go, oh, I see what they mean. Got it. Okay. So they're online with me, and they said, "So Matt, you see how they're treating us?" So I said, "Yep, I do." Do you know? I don't know if you're aware of the meeting program that was there. It was this new Bible stories, right? Revised.
My book of Bible stories is revised.
Yeah, because you remember the yellow one. It's like, no, it's too traumatic. Like Dallas says, it's my book of horror stories, right?
Right.
So they had to go back and they had to redo it, but it's not that much of an improvement. It's supposed to be, but it's just like, oh, crumbs. No, you guys kind of lost the, oh gee, this is the revision, the safe version. No. Anyway, so they said, Matt, we've got to do this thing for like about a year. And what we're doing is we're doing children's stories. This is our education now. So I said, yeah, well, the way it's framed is they're teaching you how to teach the children. Yeah. So they said, do you see the new book? So I said, what's the new book? They said, please go and take a look. So I take a look. So it happened to be Noah, right? So I looked it up. And they've introduced this Hindu element. I don't know if
the
you've
Noah
seen.
story.
Yeah.
A Hindu element of the Noah's Ark story.
There's a Hindu element that they've introduced to be like more inclusive. I mean, it's just so fascinating. I saw this thing. But anyway, they said,
Did the
Matt,
elephants look really cool or something? I can't
oh,
imagine.
was it Noah or was it? No, hang on. I've got to take a
This
look.
just shows my
I
ignorance.
might be mixing it up with Jonah or something. I might be
Okay.
mixing it up with Jonah. Hold on. I'm going to get back there.
That's
Let me
possible.
see this. I haven't been to these meetings for so long. This is what's happened to me. I've been spending time with Linda James, the apostate, and now it's just bad association. What can I say?
Spoils
Okay.
useful habits.
Yeah. Did I say Noah and the flood? Did I?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm correct. It's true. Okay, so it is
Okay.
Noah. It is Noah. So it's number 2. He condemned the world. It talks about Enoch, but I can see it's still in this grade 3 level teaching. That's what it is. And they said, Matt, do you see the questions? I said, yes, I see the questions. You see the structure? Yes. Do you see the Hindu element? Yes, I see the Hindu thing. And what's happened is for a year, they did the Bible book of stories and persons justified it. Oh, we're teaching children. But now they've produced this book. They haven't changed the level of teaching. This is for like grade 3 level.
Wow.
If you thought, yeah, no, it's hectic. And I'm looking at this and I go, let me turn the next page. Sherbet, they're absolutely right. And they said, yeah, Matt, they are teaching us like we are. the pioneer said they're teaching us like we're just a bunch of grade 3 students. They said
I
that's
heard
what it
that.
is.
I heard that recently that they were doing that.
They said, look at the questions. Why did Abraham want Isaac's bride to move to Canaan rather than have Isaac move to Rebekah's hometown? What was the significance of the gifts offered to Rebekah and her family? So I'm looking at these questions and I'm going, yeah, geez, you're right. You're right. So
By the way, Rebecca had a nose ring. Just putting that out there. And they brought her a nose ring. Okay? Just saying it.
Thank you, Linda. Look, it happens on your show.
Yeah. I just want to say goodnight because it's actually 2:00 in the morning and I'm going to go to bed. And
thank you so much for joining us.
I don't have to thank me. I said, I'm going to do 3 for 3 and come on with the show. I couldn't sleep anyway, but I think I can go to sleep now. And
Thanks.
really, it was wonderful, everybody. It really was. I got a lot out of your show tonight. Thank you.
I'm so
Thanks
glad.
for also the healing
we got
story.
A lot from you.
Thank you.
Okay, Gail. Spaghetti and meatballs, eh?
Whenever you want.
Okay.
Just let me know. I'll pick you up at the airport.
That's right.
It's on the record. Okay. Go well, Gail.
You too. I'm going to
So
hold
funny.
you to it, and I'll give you a nice neck massage.
Okay. Thank you. So it's there we go. It's on the record. It's going on the Internet
And don't tell
Archive,
anybody,
folks.
I'll give you a nice heated neck massage.
We spoke about all the girls that have got to touch me and do these massages, and Gail says she's first in line, and there's meatballs, and it's going in the Internet Archive, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
All this persecution.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's all the Kingdom Halls.
I love it.
Okay. Good night, Gail.
Yes, you too. Thank you, everybody. And have a good rest of the weekend.
You
Okay.
too. Get some
Bonjour,
rest.
everyone. Bye.
It's amazing everybody's bringing up the Paradise book, which was the book that came out
How do
before.
I get off?
There would be
Here
something
we go.
that says to leave, or it might be an arrow. Okay, she figured it out. Good. So the Lost Paradise Gain, I grew up on that book too. I think it came out in 53 or 57. I'll tell you what, those pictures are still with me.
I've got a copy of that book here.
Yeah,
But
it's
I remember Dallas's comment on that one, and he got me good that day, and I still remember that. Was it Parasites? Parasites Lost, Parasites Gained. I was like, Dallas, oh my word.
Yep.
Yeah, he was on a roll, and he knew it.
So it's fascinating that what's being brought out to you is that you're being treated like, or being taught like a third grader. And this is something abusive people, perpetrators, and abusive groups, families will do. They will talk to you like you're a little kid.
Right.
You don't ever get to come to that place of maturing and being able to go out into the world. Like they won't prepare you to be able to mature enough to leave and go out in the world. Because why? Because they are nothing without you. They want you to believe you're nothing without them. But the fact is, they are nothing without you. So they do not edify you in such a way that you can mature and go off and be a productive adult. No, they have to keep you infantile. Like, this is strategic. And then we call each other brothers and sisters.
Come on.
Then we're the family of God, right? And the body, which is the church. Yeah, which is pretty similar to the video I have at the end, which is a quotation of Randall Waters, which really says the purpose of a cult is to replace your family with a fake family. That's the purpose.
Gee, I
Tear
think
apart
if
Iran.
I give you a little push, you're gonna take this all the way. But Linda James, you spot on, hey? Wow. I'm sort of waiting for you to go. This is preposterous.
It is. It is. Think about it.
I'm waiting to hear it
You're love
because
bombed. You feel
Hmm.
included. It's wonderful. You think you've joined something that matches with your agreement, matches with the things you are about. And then the next thing you know, things really shift. And it starts within the first few Bible studies that are free, you know?
somebody did research. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I'm going to mention who it is. Colin.
Okay.
You know, agree with me or not, but I'm going to go. This is what my experience was. This is what I learned, and this is what I learned was the problem that within the JW system has undermined its own system. Okay, I'm not talking about whether a vaccine is correct or not. I'm not taking a political side. I'm just going according to the JW framework. This was bad, and I didn't hear anybody really checking on it, or I don't hear many people grasping it and running with it and saying, "Oh, we checked it. Geez, yeah, this is what's happened." Okay, I normally hear it being tackled in other ways. Okay, and I talk about this thing called cell lines because this is where I learned about this thing, and it's going, Matt. This is a hard thing to take a look at. It's not easy, and the information not easy. So I'm going to be upfront. Linda James, you have given me some antithesis for my thesis, going, no, Matt, I'm not quite there. I'm not there yet. I'm not saying it's a load of garbage, and I'm just not making a decision on this. Okay, cool, no problem. Okay, but this person went away and made a video, and I saw it, and I went, wow, this is brave. This is brave that they've done this. This is courage that they've done it. I don't know of people who've done this, and they did this thing. And I was just amazed that. Now, why am I talking about it? I think I need a nap. I think I need a nap. But they went. Yeah, I think you were talking about something just now about they treat you like
a child, a kid,
a child or a kid. And I'm going, yeah, because I think if you are in that mindset, you can't. It's very difficult to comprehend some of these complex matters. It's very, very difficult, and that's the control mechanism, and that's the danger, and that's the Jonestown kind of danger. Because if you're in this kind of mindset and you're dependent on this artificial authority structure to govern everything, what you're eating, you're sleeping, when you can sleep, when you can eat, who you can be intimate with, who your marriage partner can be. It's going into all of these aspects of life. What your thoughts are allowed to be. It is hectic and hectically unhealthy. It is so unhealthy to be in this environment. It really is, and so I go, yeah, this is what happened in that whole psycho-spiritual framework, that they defied their own, what can I say, doctrine, and undermined their system. But you've got persons that are left behind who just do not comprehend this thing, and it's almost like it's dying out. They'll bring in a generation who are taught with this grade 3 level education, going, we have the truth that leads us to this everlasting life. It's just, excuse me, I'm kind of getting wound up here, but it's horrendous in my opinion what's happening here. And it's like I'm seeing the dumbing down of this people, and then put into these incredible power positions, and you're going, man, I was attracted to this thing because I actually was getting an education. there's an interview that was done just now by a very, very well-known leading psychologist who's been accoladed tremendously. His institution has been really accoladed as one of the best psychology frontline field in science and psychology, and just did an interview with an ex-missionary from JW. Who's mentioned in the publications, but you see how this person has thrived is incredible. And I saw them repurposing the things that were learned when the organization was at that peak where it was a real solid education. And he was bringing in this education to some top tier psychologists. And you could see people respecting that information to this day. But I'm going, that's a level of education that they were saying, oh, if you are applying yourself to learn about this stuff, it's like getting this, I don't know, is it first year of like a degree or something like this? They tell you that was what it was. But I actually saw that in motion, and I was going, I don't think that can be repeated again. Not at this level. I just can't see that, unless, of course, the planet's education system is just plummeting. But it was really nice to see this person who graduated 1986 from Gilead now coming into the psychological story, doing their thesis, and this interaction that was going back and forth on this very, very high level. And the psychologist said to me, Matt, I want to tell you about my experience. He said, I've been listening to the things that you've been saying. And I went and started doing my own research, and I came across this individual, or there was this connection with this individual. And so I listened to their interview, and it was on this incredibly high level. And they had repurposed it for this frontline group of scientists and psychologists. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, I've been rattling on, but I'm just saying that there's such a difference between that education and what's coming through now.
Yes, I agree. And I think that's strategic. For instance, when I was growing up within this organization, there's something called the Theocratic Ministry School, which they kind of still do, kind of. But back when I was growing up, you were really taught how to stand up for this religion of Jehovah's Witnesses, and taught all the scriptures to show and everything. Today, Jehovah's Witnesses are not being taught that way. If they're at the literature cart and somebody wants to have a discussion with them, and maybe share their opinions, they're taught that if it gets confrontational, or if somebody says anything negative about the organization, to pack up and leave. That's so different than how it was when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And how we were to be at the door. There were no literature carts yet.
Yeah. Look, is the issue really dumbing down, or is it the gradual replacement of deeper inquiry with simplified, repetitive answers? Because accessibility is one thing. I mean, we've seen them getting rid of libraries, books. An adult educational system that really encourages members to examine assumptions, competing interpretations, or evidence is something else entirely. So perhaps the question isn't, are they being dumbed down, but is simplification replacing deeper inquiry? Simple language is different to simplistic, but simple language can educate, repetitive prescribed answers can condition. Those aren't the same things. But yeah, look, if somebody's saying dumbed down, I would go, yeah, I believe that that's exactly the case. And this is insidious. It really is, because it's not creating a mature Bible education. I mean, I remember now a Gilead graduate, I said to them, tell me, do you know that Mazzaroth and Zodiac are the same thing? They had no idea what I was talking about. I'm going, do you know that?
Goodness.
Yeah, do you know that the whole religion is based on astrotheology? Do you know that? You should know this from
my
your Gilead
goodness.
lectures. You should know. Didn't know what the hell I was talking. This goes, oh, it sounds like apostate talk. Go, you have no idea.
Wow.
This is coming from our own organization, and now it's apostate talk. No. You don't know the fun. If you do not know this, you cannot progress in spiritual knowledge, because the whole Bible works like that. Gematria works like the greater dimensions within the Bible works like this. If you cannot know how this works, then how are you going to know how the Platonic solids work? The 12 months or the Sephirot, which has got the 13th. It's like the hero's journey in the Kabbalah, the Kabbalistic system, which is Solomon's shields. They used to teach this stuff. No, it's just not there anymore. But you would be able to take those principles, those numerology, you would see golden ratios and things. This would open your mind to pattern recognition on another level. It's just not there anymore. So if the education system mainly teaches people to reproduce the approved answer, yes, Noah built a ship, he built this, and it's just like almost baby talk. It's a very different kind of education. That's what we're seeing.
Yes.
That's what we're seeing. That's frightening. I'm going, what kind of generation is this?
So you've gone through Gilead, haven't you?
Yes, I went through Gilead I went through ministerial training school when it was under the Gilead umbrella. So it was the 5 months condensed to 2.5 months, because there weren't women. So they drilled us.
Okay.
It was like real boot camp. It was an accelerated thing, but we came out of there. We could have the missionary status. They could make us circuit overseas. It was hectic. It was hectic boot camp.
So that was after Dunlap, correct? Or did you ever meet Dunlap?
I came across Dunlap. He wasn't. Look, I had the year 2000 governing body, which was its own. That was its own shift. That was like the organization changing. So that 2000 was a change. Then there was another one, but the 2000 era. So I was coming in with that old generation as they were being phased out.
I see. Okay.
So there was this crossover. Yeah, there was this crossover.
So audience, the reason I'm bringing up the name Dunlap is that is who was associated with the Gilead School back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm bringing up his name. Ed Dunlap. Okay.
Yeah. No, we did talk about Ed Dunlap. I didn't meet him, but I knew of him and I knew of his story. So.
Okay.
That was
Hi Peps 1975.
because I'll tell you how that came up. There was the book of the commentary, the letter of James, right? And it came up in the congregation, and the elders had to some of the elders had to defend themselves that was still a current book. So they actually had to phone headquarters and say, tell me, with the controversy with Dunlap and all of that, is this still a book that has relevance? And they said, yes, it is. We didn't strike it off. It's still got some relevance and all this kind of stuff. But they had to push back on the younger elders who were going, oh, this is apostate information that was coming from our organization. It just represents the fracture. That's what that happens. But it was, we're talking about the writings of Edward Dunlap. So he served at the Gilead School. He was registrar, right? So that was the controversy. So it was like, oh, his name, for persons that were in the know, it's his name that was involved in that literature, which was creating the problem. They were going, no.
The writing of that book of James, correct?
Yeah.
The book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so fascinating, because remember when I said I called Carrie Kay earlier this week, and then we kind of, went into other conversations. We actually talked about this book.
Yeah, because you had Ray France connected, Carl Johnson, Ralph Ferrulli. I don't know if you remember him.
Yes.
But okay, so these are names that. So what did the organization do with these people? What's the important thing? You ever heard of them being thrown under the bus? You ever heard that thing?
Yes.
Right. Why?
Taking
Because they
one for the team.
yes.
Did I just throw you off?
I'm still here. I see Peps in the comments. Hi, Peps. Linda James, what are we talking about?
We traveled from things that were going on with your observation, and then I asked you if you're part of Gilead. You mentioned
Yeah.
a concentrated
Yes.
version of it. I asked about Dunlap because Dunlap used to be the teacher at Gilead,
Mhm.
and you're mentioning the transitioning of it, transitioning out and transitioning in the newer version after year 2000, after Y2K. And then the book of James got brought up, not the book of James in the Bible, but there was a book that the organization printed and Ed Dunlap wrote it. And the organization kind of was okay with it, and then it just was not. Was not.
Mm.
So it's looked at as, some people look at it as apostate, some people look at it as it has still value. Does that sound about right? What we were talking about?
Yeah, but it's like there's a generation of who cares about these details anymore? Who really cares about it? Yeah, and who? Yeah, it's like who the custodians of knowledge? Linda James, I'm going to go. I think it's us. Oh, this is what that pioneer said. Says, oh, I've been listening to you talking with Linda James and Peps and our community, and says,
Yes.
this 90. Oh, that's what that's where we're coming from with this 98%. So this vaccine thing, where they compromised in a spiritual sense, which people aren't grasping. They said, oh, yeah, I grasped this correctly, but didn't the governing body say that that's exactly what would happen? So the custodians of knowledge are you guys. And you go, that's a weird thing. That's almost like, what is it? Chronicles of Riddick, where he's going, oh, all I want to do is just be left alone. And at the end, they make him king, or they make him the head honcho of this, what's it? Of this evil empire. And it's like, wait a second, what's just happened? This religion's kind of crumbled, but according to its own doctrine, guess what? Linda James is now the new governing body member. It's like,
wait a minute.
Hang
But
on.
the governing body are the guardians of doctrine.
Yeah, but
G-O-D.
they have to be guardians of doctrine. But if they don't know what it is, but Linda James knows, well, then she's the modern day apostle. I mean, do you follow where I'm coming from? Going,
Yeah, now it makes
if
sense.
they not, if they learn, know about the ship, he put some animals on. This is Jehovah. This is when the Satan come along, and it's nursery crimes kind of stuff. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, you get where I'm coming from. Who's the guardians of doctrine? You're going, well, hang on. Linda James can tell you a lot more about how the system works. You're going, and especially if this community is showing the love that is sorely lacking, you're going, well, wait a second. I thought we the people who are not the good guys or the Christians. You're going, no, just by default, it's more Christian than the persons who are supposed to be actually Christian. This is a very, very weird place. The way things have shifted, it's just weird what's happened. It's going, no, it's showing up. The system, there's a distortion, there's an inversion. Am I losing people here? I don't know.
You might be, but I'm hearing what you're saying. There's a shift happening within society at large as well. And as much as white Christian nationalism is attempting to make Christianity more mainstream, the other side of that is people are becoming less religious, there's less Christians in the United States. Um, and at the same time, I'm seeing the counteraction from the white nationalism. And the way they're showing up is really intimidating and very like 1800s kind of Christianity, to where they want to, there's talk, and I'm not saying it's going into law, but there's talk lately about all across the US having a ban on abortions, and not only that, birth control.
What?
Yes. And I'm just saying there's talk. Let me just say something here. When you mess with someone's ability to restrict that activity, I pity the fool that tries to do that, okay? And men can't find a condom? No. That's bad. What they're trying to do is have more children, and specifically more white children, okay?
Right.
That's where that's supposed to be leading, to where every pregnancy that could happen will happen. You know, it's ugly. The thought
I can't. If okay, this is just talk. I can't see this going through, Linda James. I'll tell you why.
Me too, and I hope it doesn't.
Because if it does, then there has to be a reversal on this even this COVID thing. No, they can't do it. They can't. They're stuck. No, I'd go, what a world that would be if they went down that path, because that would mean a whole lot of stuff is going to have to change, and there has to be a massive reconciliation. No, I don't think they can do it.
What I'm picturing is homemade remedies. Okay.
Okay.
You go down to Aunt Bertha's.
Oh boy.
She has homemade contraceptives, okay?
Hello.
And people will buy them on the black market, kind of thing. And so over here can make a condom out of who knows what, okay? And so we'll go to Uncle Jim's or whatever we're going to call that place. And there will be the back alley events where women will die, which is originally part of the reason why abortions were legalized. Okay.
Sure, this is dark, Linda James.
It is. It is.
Ooh, this is a dark place.
See, Gray Wolf is talking coat hangers. Fighter of Truth says exactly 100%, Linda James. They are going to be using flock cameras to track women down, and it's scary. So flock cameras work to where, and let me just mention a couple of other things, because I haven't done my political anything tonight. So yay, here's the time. So a couple of police officers or people in the realm of that world have used these flock cameras or this surveillance program wrongly, to where they would check up on ex-girlfriends or their present wife. And so they've gotten in trouble with this.
Ooh,
so
because it tracks number plates and
yes.
ooh. Okay,
yes.
got it. All right.
So
it's giving me cold shivers. Okay.
Yeah, there's been a situation where a husband who actually was very abusive towards a wife of his,
Right.
and was claiming that she had a miscarriage and or heading to go have an abortion or something. Let me just say this. When a woman is having a miscarriage, what they need is a procedure called a D&C.
Yes.
And our government has made that procedure that's called a D&C illegal, because it's the same procedure as a abortion. So that's why we've been hearing about these people dying.
Because of afterbirth, and they get septicemia.
Precisely. And these are happening to women who were looking forward to their third child, had their, everything set up, and they already had a few kids and stuff. So it wasn't like they didn't want the child. Sometimes the body does what is called a, I think I want to call it a miscellaneous abortion, which means the same thing as a miscarriage. But because the word abortion is in it, the people in Congress who know nothing about the indoor plumbing of a woman decided to make this illegal. So back to the story. This abusive husband
Oh dear.
called, I don't even remember enough about it, but she's off on the run. And the abusive, so they went to try to find her. And I would have to re-familiarize myself with this story. So I need to just stop at this point because I can tell that I'm
Okay, so I've got the
not
general
retrieving all the things. Yeah.
I've got the general idea. It's the blind leading the blind. This
Yes.
is what it sounds like. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of people. They've got charisma. We'll put them into office, but they don't have the real education. They should be standing on the backs of people who have got the real education. But the people who've got the real education, when they do give the proper advice, then it's like opposing authority. So
Correct.
oh gee, what a mess. And then they make these laws. It's just
Right. So so who
What
was
a
it here
mess.
in the chat who mentioned a DNC? Somebody who was mentioned a DNC. Basically, if they had a gynecologist there with them and they made these decisions, it would be much more understandable. But these are government officials who don't know enough about gynecology to make these decisions. So what they've decided is until there is no longer a heartbeat, a doctor cannot intervene in any method. Otherwise, the doctor gets these fines for thousands of dollars and they'll lose their license and horrifying consequences. So you have to wait till there's no longer a heartbeat. So when the body is having a miscarriage, it means the fetus has broken away from the wall of the uterus. I know I'm talking indoor. Anyways, once the fetus has broken away from the wall of a uterus, it's no longer going to reattach. Let me just start over. If a fertilized egg gets from the place of when it's fertilized into the uterus of the mother, it plants itself up against the wall, and that's when it gets to grow. There are eggs that are fertilized that don't plant themselves and end up exiting the body once a month with a woman's cycle.
Right.
But the ones that do and plant themselves up against the wall, that's where they remain until birth. So if the body is miscellaneously aborting, it's because this live fetus unattached itself from the wall. Once it unattaches, it's not going to survive. So it is beginning to spontaneously abort, meaning leave that body. So in reality, doctors used to be able to come in and help with this procedure that was going to happen anyways. It's not going to survive, okay? But according to the government,
I'm going to go that can be I would even term that a natural process. There's just some kids that just
process,
don't. Yeah, sometimes the child exits and it exits in the bathroom. That's right. How it happens.
Okay, here it is. Fighter of Truth, Linda James. Women are dying in Texas because of the abortion ban, and then it says DNC. Exactly, DNC. That's the same procedure, or thought of as the same procedure from the higher up government as an abortion. So they made a ban. So here we have a gynecologist who will still hear a heartbeat, but the fetus is no longer attached to the wall. It's not going to survive. So that's why these women are dying, because like you said, the body turns sepsis, which means it gets poisoned. The bloodstream is poisoned and they die.
Yeah.
And government officials don't know about this. They're truly ignorant about this, but they've made the laws.
they're far away from the natural process. This is what I'm thinking. Whether I'm right or wrong, but I'm just going. This sounds like stuff that's just so far from nature. Because I'm going to the women I know here in Africa where they're giving birth under a tree, and there's
Sure.
things that go right and there's things that go wrong, and
That's right.
and I don't want to be too graphic about it, but when there are fetuses that are lost, they just
Yes.
go to the ground and that's it, and the woman goes, this one didn't make it, and there's it's I realize that there's many different situations, but the most women where that happens, it's like, aren't you saddened that the kid's gone? Yeah, no, but it just happened, Matt. It happened. I'm over it. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
The kid was lost, but it's like no doctors or anything like this. It's like it happens under a tree.
Right. Right. And
So
the body will reject a live fetus if there's something wrong with it. So it's
yes,
kind of like the natural procedure.
yes,
It wouldn't have done that unless something was wrong with a live fetus.
yeah.
It's a natural progressive thing.
And I'm going in Western culture. My observation, and what am I? I was a pioneer, so what do I know? But my observation, in my humble opinion, I have to emphasize that it's like in Western society, you're forcing these kids into this world, and they've got terrible defects.
Mhm.
I have seen this happen. I've seen this happen. Oh, we want children, and nature is just going, no, you're not built for kids, honey. You're not built for
Mhm.
kids. This shouldn't
Yeah.
be happening. Oh, I'm going in for this fertility treatment, and I'm going to force this kid. And my husband has put seed into a little test tube, and it's just like the most unnatural process of forcing this life into this world. And then when the kid comes into this world, there's still defects, and you're just going, guys, what are you doing? What kind of generations are you producing? No, it shouldn't happen. In some ways, I don't want to elevate Africa, because Africa has got its own problems, but in some ways, at least there is this naturalness that
Mhm.
still exists in many areas where there isn't this kind of interference going on.
Yes.
And going,
Yes.
guys, do you want to see how a woman can give birth here? It's phenomenal. You see them working. They've got control. They let the kid out, and then they back to working, and you're going, the amount of control that's going on here is just awe-inspiring. No, really, Linda James. I mean,
It is. Yes.
awe-inspiring.
Mm-hmm. Did
Anyway,
I ever
sorry.
tell you about the time my son asked me? Oh God, I know I've told this story before, but my son was probably 7 years old when we're driving down the street, and he asked me, how do babies come out of the mommies?"
Right.
And I said, well, the mommy's vagina turns into the birth canal, and the
Right.
baby leaves the body through the birth canal. And he's
Okay.
quiet for a long time. And I'm one of those people that I'm going to use the correct wordage, right? And then he says, after he's quiet for a while, I don't like coming out of Virginia's.
Right.
I said, I know, son. And when you grow up, you won't either.
Linda James.
And I
Well,
know he didn't
folks,
know what
you
that
heard
meant.
it here on the Linda James channel. We this is cutting edge stuff, folks.
Right?
We don't fear.
That was the cutest
Poli-
thing I ever heard because he was
yeah.
trying to say the proper word. I don't like coming out of
Virginia.
Virginia's. Too cute,
Don't
huh?
worry, honey. That's how you'll feel when you grow up too. Yeah,
Right?
well done.
He is now that healthy adult. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well done, Linda James.
anyways, we're getting to that place where
Yes.
in about
it's-
10 minutes or so,
I can sort of
we're-
feel
we're
that
gonna-
twilight energy. Yes.
yeah. And thank
Ooh.
you, chat, for being with me in this conversation.
Yes.
Somebody's quoting
Yeah.
George Carlin. I love it.
Oh,
You know,
sure.
Gray Wolf talked about earlier through the chat that he struggles with depression. Dallas is like, Linda is not one to mince words. No, sir, I'm not.
Yeah. Ooh, Dallas. Yeah.
But you know what? I was also one of those moms that was like, I was just foreseeing things and going with my gut as I learned life as I went along with raising my kids. And you know what? They all still want to be in relationship with me today, which is a
Cool.
really, really beautiful thing.
Wow, that's good. Good stuff, Linda James.
I think so too. And I'm glad you joined me in tonight's show. I'm glad that we took some time to talk about what has happened.
Yes, thanks for the invitation. I think it's been as upbeat as it could possibly be. I feel that way. It might not be the neatest conversations, and there was places where I was fading out, but I come away with an overall good vibe and a sense of some healing. I don't know how much healing, but I come out with a sense of healing. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you, Linda James, and to everybody who just helps. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I also wanted to mention something else. Let me look this up. So there is going to be something that might be open to some people on the 11th. That might be open to some people regarding having some professionals, coaches. You know, when there's a dramatic event, they'll have people that are professional that are able to be talked to help people get through a situation. That's what this is about. So I'm not sure if it's going to be open to the public. I'm not real clear. I just know it's going to happen. So I just wanted to bring it up. So keep an eye out for it in case it gets thrown out there for you to be a part of, because it's for the purpose of getting to talk to some coaches and therapists that will support us and support our psyche, being that we've gone through this. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share on that.
Okay, thank you. There was one I missed, and I know he wasn't a therapist, but I missed Fritz.
Oh yeah.
I would have loved to gone on with Fritz, or you know.
Yep. There's
But yeah, I don't know what I would say. I don't know what I would say to him though.
I had a chance to talk to him once, and it was about his father. I forget, his father did something, and he was talking about it on the show. But thank you, Purple. She said, I don't know who any of these people were, so I wasn't commenting. I can understand that. Purple has got so much wisdom within her. The things that she shares, it's pretty amazing. And when she sees that there's a place for reverence and to just kind of be there, she does that too.
Purple is the crown chakra. I mean, you know.
That is true. Yes.
Let's pay attention here, you know.
Yep. Purple is a handy woman. That's right, Dallas. Okay. So is there anything you'd like to say? Any kind of parting words, Matthew?
I'm going to go to the Hawaiian saying, Ho'opo no pono. The four phrases, just because we've said them already, but I think it's that sort of time that this practice of reconciliation and forgiveness be done, because it's a method that uses the four simple statements to take responsibility for our inner world and clear away negative energy and restore peace. And I think that the sense I get is of some healing, and I go, well, I think it's time for the four phrases. Linda James and everybody, I'm sorry. Acknowledging awareness of the hurt or negative energy that I carry. I say, please forgive me. I forgive you. I'm asking for release from that burden and taking responsibility for my part in it. And I say, thank you. Thank you, Linda Jones. Thank you, everybody. I'm expressing gratitude for the lesson, the release, and the growth. And I say, I love you. And I am shifting that energy into self love, compassion, and connection. And we are all connected. So, Linda James, that's the best I would like to end off on. I hope that's a positive note. I believe it is. But thank you very much for being a gracious host, and thanks to everybody that's there in the chat and that's made this stream to be as successful as it is.
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody that was here tonight listening, and everybody that is in the chat, those that did give some comments and those that have not. I want to thank those that are going to watch this later and maybe have missed the stream. If you found anything helpful within this, please share it and like it. It helps with the algorithm. So I haven't been one to really push this channel. I just kind of want it to grow organically, and I'm, fine with the way it is. I've never really pushed it big time, but if you found value in it, please share it. And I just want you to all know just how much I appreciate you. And during this past week, the confusion and the pain and the sorrow and that we've been going through with the loss of person 1, 2, and 3. I thank you for joining me tonight with giving them time of honor. And I thank you that we can be people that call upon each other and that can be open. And if we're not, have someone else to suggest to be open. Yeah, this is truly the highlight of my week. Even though this show tonight felt very heavy, and going into it, I wasn't very firmly sure how I was going to lay things out. It was really good to be here with you tonight. And I just want to thank you all. This is, again, the highlight of my week. I look forward to it every single week. So I'm going to be here again next weekend. And I want you guys to think about some of the things that you are interested in and want to pursue, and start heading in that direction. Start having a sense of looking forward to that. And if you need help asking for help, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength when you ask for help to pursue things that you're interested in. So I will be back here next weekend. Good night, everyone.